Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, back with the Trackmania World Tour with your host Kriidy once again, and following up with my compatriot once again, the man who's had more times casting hours in the game than he has actually playing it. It's QuantumDeathCat. How are you doing?
I'm doing extremely well today. Hey, we had a great time a couple weeks back doing TMCL, but we're back now for MEA, sorry, regional number 2 this week. And then afterwards, we'll be doing it tomorrow as well, right? Tomorrow or in the early afternoon. But that's gonna be me and someone else. It's not gonna be with you, sadly. Sad.
Okay, well, that is at least things for the stream. Hopefully, people can actually hear us. To me, at least, currently looking at least from my perspective, everything should be working perfectly fine. But at least we see at the moment that I just double checked just to be sure. I do have the Twitch chat open, ladies and gentlemen. People are doing yeks and stuff and everything. It's fine, ladies and gentlemen. It's good. It's good.
It's fine.
So, but before we go on to the MEA regionals, I think it's a good time to also touch upon today a very serious topic as well. Of course, in light of the recent events with the Turkey, Syria earthquakes, some of the Turkish players will be using special skins with half of their car being black and also using trigrams of the specific cities that were affected the most as well. So that is something you can see in the game as well. Something perhaps we will note as well when we get into the game. So our hearts go out to all the people who were affected by this as well, and especially a lot of strength to the people who have done a lot of charity, who are on the spot doing everything they can to help those people, and hopefully it can go better quicker than all of the things happen there as well. And I've been keeping up with it myself. And of course, if you cannot help yourself directly, you can always spread awareness, and you never know, you might get somebody else to give a lot of support to the cause, and even a lot of orgs across different kinds of esports have given their input to it. So hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully the regional will give even more awareness to the MEA scene as well. So hopefully that goes well. But we are here for the MEA regional and the world tour for the second regionals. And I do believe, well, Quantum, you already had experience with it, so you can give us a bit of a we can go into a bit of a recap of the regional one. We can also have the bracket up for you as well, ladies and gentlemen, so you can give us a bit of insight as well to the last time we had the MEA.
Yes. So what happened last time around 3 weeks ago? We had F10, which is the team to beat, right? That is the team that you really are going to look out for. They only lost one map, if I recall. This entire, actually, no, they didn't lose a single map. Huh? I thought
Yeah,
they
they
lost
didn't.
one, but
They didn't lose a single map. They were dominating it as well. Yeah, and
yeah.
the only interesting part was, of course, the other teams that had a bit of a different journey towards the end.
Yeah, so F10 really that team to beat, but they have plenty of competition. I think this time around, Molotov definitely played very, very well to get themselves into the grand finals. Up against F10 to a rematch against them in the first place. They had to play Orglis, who I don't think are going to be playing this week. We find ourselves in a situation where there are two new teams, right, that will be playing this week as well. So
Yes.
a total of one extra team because one will not be playing, but two more will be. So we find ourselves in a beautiful 7-team bracket at this point.
Yeah, so we will have one extra team, which is good. You know, progress, which is love. We see more teams. That, of course, does mean in this case that if my memory serves me right, is that in this case F10 should get, if they are in the team, they will be also getting an automatic through as well, because normally they would have to play the seed 8, but there is no seed 8, so they should be able to get through relatively nicely, unless Birdie has lost around 2000 elo in matchmaking recently. Then it should be perfectly fine. But I do hope everybody is ready. The regional should be starting soon as well, so I think it's a good time as any to go for. Now the question is, of course, which match do we go for as well? So that is an interesting part as well. We have round 2, 3, and 4. You know, let's go with the first one, and we will switch to the in-game scene as well. Let's see who's on the server as well. I'll have a quick look, ladies and gentlemen, see what we have, and then we will switch on to the in-game as well. We already see that the bans are happening, so
Ooh,
we'll quickly
right,
switch and see. As we can see at the moment in this game, we have Bondesio Trident and Pronto Gachel, so it's a full South African things boom. So I'll quickly stop my my open planet as well, so that's good. So we have this team as well. We can quickly go that back and forth is the first map. We have Slippy Slides, Gyroscope, Slowdown and Reps, Agility Dash and Parkour Band. Flip of Faith is 6, and of course, no arrow pipes as always. No arrow pipes. No
At
arrow
least we get
pipes in
gyroscope,
the. It
right?
is gyroscope, yeah. So that is
Gyroscope
something.
will be played.
Gyroscope is third map, so we have at least gyroscope. And just to show you as well, blue team is Southern Speedsters, and the last redemption is the red team as well. So we get to. So the first match will be an all South African affair. So that is an interesting one as well. The South African brothers are definitely going to have a good time here, I'm pretty sure as well. And now we have to wait and make sure everything runs smoothly and we get into the match. So first, look at the map pool. What are your opinions? No arrow pipes as always, but the rest of these, as you said, gyroscope is there. That's a good.
Yeah, gyroscope being there, we love a bit of gyroscope, but sadly, my favorite map, Agility Dash, not being picked. So I'm troll despair at the moment. That's how I'm feeling. But overall, I think this is a very solid veto. All things considered, we're going to have a lot of fun as we're going to start on back and forth.
That is indeed so. And of course, with the regionals, it's easy to follow, of course. Blue team has the first week, but as we said, Southern Speedsters represented by Bondesio Trident, the last redemption by Prontak and Achel. So yeah, here we are in the game as well. Quickly make sure we have all of the following as well. Perhaps we'll get name tags, we'll never know. Oh, there we are. So here we go. So we have the blue team who has the better seed as well. And I'll let you take it away, Quantum. First round is yours.
First round is mine. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is the South Africans playing against the South Africans as we go to this first round. Trident going low. Eichel makes a mistake, and so Brontok will take the lead. And it's quite a big lead on top of that. 4/10 of a second to Trident in behind. A little bit more inside, but that leads him to a more outside line afterwards. It will give him the lead, though, after all those little slalom turns. Into the big jump we go here. Trident with a big lead, lands perfectly fine. Nice little 360 there. No sliding out for Trident. Brontok keeps in second place. Bondesio falls down to third, and Achel will stay in fourth. Trident, though, extends his lead to Brontok, who stays in behind as we go now into the identity. It's a backwards reactor boost as Brontok falls off immediately. Trident goes through the first checkpoint of the identity. He falls off as well, but he's still in first. He's still ahead. And so Bondesio now will have overtaken Brontok for second. And so, can Brontok at least stop the ace? Oh! He stopped the ace! They both hit into the finish. Brontok steals the ace away, but Bondesio was close to getting it through. But they both hit into the finish. Well done.
Okay, so we start off with an interesting round. We had a bit of a back and forth, as you can say it by the map name as well. No pun intended. But that was a good round, all intents purposes, I would say. Of course, the identity had a few victims, but of course we have to remember that these are the easy versions of the maps as well. And so they are more simplified compared to the normal maps that you would see in TMGL or Challenger League, of course. But nonetheless, they are not, of course, easy maps. They're still pretty hard to execute. As you can see, Bondesio had a bit of a moment there, and he has to respawn as well. Trident and... oh, Prontak, I think, made a mistake, but survived still. So that is really good to see. Very nice indeed. Trident in front, Prontak a bit behind. Achel is following behind, so we could be seeing a draw in this case, unless something does happen in the identity. So let's go up to the front. Prontak chasing Trident again. So let's see how he does it this time. No slide out this time. Keeping it nice and tidy. Very good, very good. Nice swivel around the poles. No poles here for the easy version. And that seems to be a very comfortable finish. Archel coming in third as well. So it is a draw for this round, keeping Southern Speedsters in the front. So far at least Trident showing very good prowess at the moment. It's sort of, you have like a pack of two. You have Brontok and Trident at the front, and then Archel Bondage, sort of a 2v2 across the board.
Yeah, but that's because of mistakes from Bondegio and from Achel there, because that is not how you want to start on back and forth. That's a little bit rough there, as Brontok has taken the lead from Trident, but he's been fast off of the start here, but Trident's always been able to come back and retake the lead away from Brontok. This time, though, Bondegio is in this fight here for second place. He definitely wants to ace this one and bring the Southern Speedsters further away from the last redemption here, as Brontek still in second place, stopping the ace. However, it's still a round win looking here for the Southern Speedsters. It would be 5-3 in their favor if the ranks stay the same way. As we go into the identity at this point, Trident still in the lead, goes a little bit wide, but does not fall off. Brontak stays on him. Let's see if he can stay on his tail here as Trident makes a mistake. And so Brontak looking to win this round here. And he indeed will. Trident and Bondegio should be coming in second and third. As Bondegio made a mistake, so did Trident.
Achel is a bit too far.
All the way back here. Yeah, all the way back here. So it doesn't really matter, though. It doesn't matter if Achel finishes or not. It's still a draw.
Yeah, so for this round, again, so the identity is proving a bit more treacherous than one might think at first. Of course, you have those early mistakes, but back and forth at the moment, even with less poles, is definitely not an easy map to play, as we see Achel having a bit of trouble at the back, but Trident having a bit of a touch as well, so it means that in this case Brontok is being chased by Bondesio, so that is interesting to see how it goes. A few slides here, one slide after the other. Important to keep the gear, because the gear here is very important to get for the next jump. You go for a bit of a rotation here, you get the nice 360, go for the wicket, very nice indeed. Oh, Bondesio actually getting it much better than Brontak. He has to drift now and release to make sure he's doing smoothly as well. So let's see, currently Trident is a second behind, as we can see, so here we go. Moment of truth on that. Let's go to the Trident. Oh, Trident had a really bad turnaround, so it's up to Brontak and Bondesio in the front. Can Bondesio keep the lead for the Southern Speedsters? Brontak making a mistake on the poles, allowing his teammate to come by, and also Trident to pass. Will we see our first ace on the map? And indeed, so it is. Southern Speedsters takes the ace ahead of the last redemption. Well, hopefully there will be a few more rounds, otherwise this map will be the last redemption for them at least, and it will be Southern Speedsters to take this map. But of course, it does give the track point for Southern Speedsters if they get another ace. So we'll have to wait and see how this round goes.
Don't forget, this is a BO7, right? So this first map, though it is important to win any map you possibly can, right? It is just one. You still have 3 more strikes. Well, 2 more strikes that you can take afterwards, right? 4th strike and you're out, technically speaking. So Southern Speedsters have the map point at this part of the battle. After only 4 rounds, they already have 7 points to their name. An ace 2 wins will do that, though. As right now, Brontok in the lead, Trident just behind, going a little bit more inside, trying to find some speed over Brontok as we head towards the identity. A more inside line here, perhaps, for Trident. Yes, look at all the speed that he caught up on. And so Trident now will try to overtake the last redemption player here. Can he do it? He's going more inside. Risk too much. Gain too little. Brontok also hit, but he did not hit enough to go out. And so he'll still win the round. Trident will get second. And Achel will go in front of Bondegio. No! Hit into the finish. Bondegio ties and draws the round. Rather than a round win for the last redemption. It'd be 8-5 otherwise in favor of Southern Speedsters. Instead, it's 8-4.
It's a bit of a tight squeeze between the triangle, and in this case, it proved to be a bit too much. Of course, it feels like the car should have... Oh, Brontak going for a bit of a flight there. That's not really what you want to see if you're a fan of the last redemption. Of Currently, at least, Sudden Speedsters very comfortably in the lead, and at the moment, Last Redemption is very far behind. So it seems that unless they have a few mistakes in the upcoming sections, it should be Sudden Speedsters to take their map pick as well. Quite comfortably, I would say. Trident definitely looked very comfortable here, but of course I cannot say before they cross the finish line. We still have to go to the identity. But if they are looking at their HUD as well, then they should know. Oh, did Trident actually get the checkpoint? I don't think he did. Oh no, he didn't, but he had to go for it again. So Prontok now is chasing Trident. Oh no, that's a bit of a troll despair there for Trident as he falls behind, and he's giving away the position because he didn't get the checkpoint. And Achel is proving. Oh, both of them having a bit of trouble. Bondesio did finish, and Trident coming in strong. He has a lot more speed. Can he still get the ace for Sudden Speedsters? Indeed he can. 12 seconds behind, but it doesn't matter. You get the ace, and that is what matters. 11-4, and the first track point goes to Sudden Speedsters.
Yeah, they take that one quite handedly. This wasn't what is it? This was all Southern Speedsters the whole way through, right? Trident especially very consistent on it, but it just did not come to fruition here for the Last Redemption. Hopefully, though, this map does. Welcome to Slippy Slides for our second map here, with this track number 2 out of a possible total of 7, though of course minimum of 4 will be played for each match here. Let's hope that Brontok and Achel do a little bit better on this one and keep up the pace. And for Southern Speedsters, it's all about keeping pace with the Last Redemption here because it is their map pick.
Yeah, and we'll let's see how this round goes. Definitely something that if Last Redemption's picked it, they definitely have more confidence in it. But of course, we cannot forget the fact that these people still train all of the maps. So, but of course, it's easier to do a few other maps. Ban one map, and you should be better off as well. As we see that Achel has already made another early mistake. So it's again Brontok and Trident at front, and followed by Bondesio. So let's look to the front as well, as Trident getting a better line with more speed, but doesn't get the line he wants, so he has to hit the corner, but he's still in the running at least, chasing Brontok. So you have to drift cancel here to make sure you don't slide out. Go for an early slippy slide, you don't want that at least. So let's see how we go. Currently moving, so we get the first slide here. Brontok does hit it, goes for a late one, but catches the reactor, so he's all good. Moving more towards, so here we go on to the identity as well. A bit of a slide for Trident. So here we go, Brontok. So here you have one less box slide compared to the regular maps, but Trident not having a good time here. But it seems Brontok able to finish very comfortably. Trident gets across the finish line, and Bondesio seems to be third, while Achel is getting to the identity at the moment. Seems that Achel is not very comfortable with the maps, or at least maybe he has only a few maps that he knows, or maybe just hasn't gotten the warm-up yet. We'll have to wait and see.
So let's see here, because yeah, it's a draw, right? First round, Brontok doing quite well. Achel maybe just needed a bit of a warm-up around there. At least getting themselves to the identity in the first place, as that's all 3 players hitting out in the same area at the exact same time, at the exact same corner. Very well done. Good coordination from everyone there, as Brontok currently in the lead by over a second now because of that. With Achel right behind, though, falling off the map, so Trident will overtake. Bondesio will as well with that reset. As Trident now hits into the wall as well, Bondesio will get closer to his teammate, though not overtake. And Brontok has himself a 4-second lead. And poor Achel also making more mistakes in the back. So let's see here if Trident and Bondesio can keep it together here, at least keep Achel behind, and well, maybe Brontok makes a mistake, right? And it allows for the Southern Speedsters to take back into the lead here, but Brontok on his way towards the identity. Will he make a mistake here as he jumps for the first one, goes wide, plenty of speed and plenty of landing room. Very well done by Brontok. He'll win with a 1:14.1 as Trident comes in behind, over 3 seconds behind. Bondesio needs a reset, but so does Achel, and Bondesio will reset again. Achel could win this one for the Last Redemption. 3 seconds left, and it's more than enough.
Down to the wire there for a moment. A bit of a saved moment there for Chell, but he gets across the line and gives a lead to the last redemption. Very good to see as well. That is a very nice moment here as well. One moment as we get to see Achel going in for the game. So let's see. Oh, actually everybody makes it this time. Very good to see at the moment. So that is a proper round for this time as well. Let's see. One good round as well. Oh, not like HL going for a bit of airtime, so we'll move on to Bondesio in this case for the point of view. Brontok and Trident in front in this case. Very nice indeed. Nice cancellation at the moment. Very good, very good. Oh, Trident not having the best cancellation there. Taken over by his teammate. Oh, Bondesio touches the wall in this case, so it leaves Brontok in the front at the moment. Trident flying so far as well, and Bondesio not having the best moment on the slide. Is Achel able to capitalize on it? Currently at the moment he is, but Trident is closely nearby, so it is still a very close round. And oh, Achel trying to go for the engine up skip. Definitely not what you want to go for here, so let's go for the bug slides here. Ooh, Trident getting a really good one as well. Trident, and he gets the first place. Brontok is second, but who will be third in this case? Bondesio is very far behind, so Achel just has to keep it simple. Go straight, you know, just go. Nice slide. Oh, keep it. Yeah, there you go. Overlive giving us a draw in this case. Bondesio was simply too far behind to capitalize on the mistake by Achel, but we go on to a draw. So we keep the game going slowly. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting there, but Last Redemption keeps his lead. That is important.
The train will reach the station eventually, right? We're on round number 4 here. 2 draws in a round win for the Last Redemption. So far, so good for them. They have already as many points as they did on the first map already. So they're showing that this map more of their style, as the Southern Speedsters do show a little bit of weakness on this map compared to back and forth, as Trident currently leads. Bondesio is in third, trying to catch up to Brontok, as Achel has fallen far behind once more. Let's see if Achel can come back in this one and be the winner once more of the round, though it doesn't seem to be at the moment, as Trident and Brontok side by side. Brontok will be relegated to second place once more, as Trident does not jump too far and will keep first place ahead of Brontok, who also gets it very nicely. Bondesio is a little bit slow off of that jump. Let's see, though, if they can keep it together, as Trident gets a massive slowdown and Brontok takes the lead. Brontok, though, can't get the first identity perfectly, and Trident will win the round. Bondesio will become second place just behind and ace the round, and suddenly the Last Redemption go from leading by 1 point to down by 2.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate mistake by Brontok there. He's looking very good on the maps, but just the slippy slides portion, the identity is really proving to getting the right lineup at the moment is not always the easiest. You see it even on where no matter what player is playing this map, you see it constantly. That just by slightly overturning, you can have a bit of a bad moment there, and you will have to respawn. But we have another close round in this case, as Achel goes wide arrive there, and Bondesio takes his spot, but they are relatively close, so we have another close round here. You can see Brontok going for the direct approach on the third and overtakes everybody as well, as Achel gets a bit of a nose slide, so he has to now compensate for that as well. It's a bit of a yep sign moment there. Bondesio and Achel, the best buddies together, and Trident following Brontok as always. So let's see. Here we go. The two pairs as per always. Brontok following, Trident following Brontok. So here we go. Let's see. First one. Oh, Brontok flies too far. So he has to respawn in this case. Can he get it this time? He can. A bit of a rough landing, but you know, you get it there eventually. Very nice. But is Brontok able to keep his lead? So let's see. Can Brontok get the slippy slide nicely? Go first one. Well done. Goes very tight. Now has to sacrifice a bit of speed. Oh, goes a bit too wide, which allows Bondesio to now take the lead. Is Trident right behind him? Indeed he is, but ooh, there goes Acheli, saving the team with 1/10 of a second and only giving Southern Speedsters a victory, but it's a 3-point cap now. It's not really looking good for the Last Redemption. They did pick this map, but it seems that at the moment that Brontok is just not getting those slippy slides right.
Yeah, the slippy slides is really what's screwing over Brontok here, because he got himself in the lead twice in a row here, 2 rounds in a row, and just messes up the first or second part of the identity, and it's really just giving them the losses here, right? It's starting to really pile up. There's 4 points here that they lost to the Southern Speedsters because of those mistakes. So those need to stop happening, and they need to stop happening now. They need to come clean here through the identity if they want to stop the Southern Speedsters. The only way the Southern Speedsters win from this round here is a round win or with an ace. So if the last redemption here ace, we're tied at 8. If the last redemption draw, it's 9-6 in favor of the Southern Speedsters. If the last redemption win this round, it is 9-7 in favor of Southern Speedsters still, but at least both teams would be on map point, I should say, as Brontok currently in the lead. Once again, onto the identity. First one is perfect. Bondegio follows closely behind. Does Brontok get it this time? He does, and he'll go through and win the round this time around, as Bondegio will come into second place. Can Trident get third place as well to draw this round? Yes, he can. And so it's 9-6, the last redemption. If they ace this round, we'll tie the game 9-9 and we'll go to overtime.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a no-return position for the last redemptions. The only thing to save them at the moment is an ace, and Bondegio sliding out is a good sign for the last redemption. Of course, Achel hopefully gets the jump. He does, goes for a safer approach, lost a bit of speed. So we have once again Brontok and Trident in this case in the lead as well. So let's see, can they keep it going? As you can see, different lines, but the outcome is sort of similar. But of course, this drift can be a bit more difficult than it first sighted. Oh, Trident gets it really nice over Brontok, but Brontok has a bit more speed, but it does equal out. So who gets the drift cancel? Both of them get it. Brontok going a bit wider, takes the penalty as a result of that, so has to give up the lead at the moment. But inside line by Trident puts him a bit behind. So let's see, can he get the first slide? Gets it very nice inside. Brontok will have a bit more speed, but that could be a bit too much. Let's see, can he hold the gear? Oh, they are able to save it very nicely as well. Brontok now, Trident, both going into the identity, so let's see. Oh, almost saved it, but not quite enough. Can Brontok now keep it ahead? He does win it, but where is Achel? Achel is there. Trident now, finishing second. Bondegio going out, but in this case, that won't be enough, unfortunately, for the last redemption. Achel gave it its best try. They did get a victory, but Southern Speedsters only needed 1 point. And that is a victory for, in this case, the track point for Southern Speedsters, giving them a 2-0 lead as we go on to the next map. So hopefully we will get something more from last redemption. Hopefully it will be not the last few maps for them as well, but I'm sure Gyroscope can be somewhat of an interesting pick as well. I'm looking forward to this one.
This map has been banned by a lot of teams, right? Obviously, it is one of the harder identities to do consistently, and so it is not picked too often, as it's not the most liked track, mostly because of the ice surface. But the ice surface, of course, can be learned. It's been in the game for nearly for over 2.5 years now. Go get to learning, guys. As Bondegio is in the lead with Trident side by side. Brontok with him as well as we head on to the third track. Don't forget the Sabio 7 here. And so it is the first to 4 map wins. So you need to win 4 maps to win the match here. Brontok currently in the lead. Bondegio in second. Trident falling down to third place, with Achel currently in last place as Trident makes a mistake on the ice early on. Bondegio is going to go lower than Brontok, but it's going to allow Brontok a little bit more speed, as he seems to have slid out from the ice, lost all of his speed, and he'll fall down to second place. Luckily, Trident's accident has caused him to now be last place, as here comes Bondegio onto the identity here. Nice little 360, make it through, but he doesn't get the slide, neither does Brontok, and Bondegio will win the round anyways. Here comes Trident as Brontok gets second place. Trident will get third, and Achel, there you go. That's how you're supposed to do it. Neither Bondegio nor Brontok got it. Acheli did get it, but it was already too little too late. The three other players had already finished.
Yeah, in this case, of course, again, ice as always can be a bit treacherous. If you overturn a bit too early on the end of it, you will go sliding out as Bondesio and Brontok showed us in that round. It is a fine margin there, so you definitely cannot underestimate it. Even going for the safe strat, you do have to be careful of how much you turn after you've done the side, as Brontok hits the sign very strongly, giving a very strong lead to the Southern Speedsters duo at the moment. 1-2 at the front, so Brontok properly yep signed. Trident slides out but keeps the gear going. It's not the fastest ice slide at the moment, and Bondesio really struggling at the moment as a Achel comes from the back as well. Brontok would be able to now use the time and get in front, but we will see how it is. Bondesio and Achel, let's see. First person to go into the identity, Trident goes for it. Okay, first turnaround is good, keeps it going, is very nice. Achel falls off, Bondesio falls off, but Achel keeps it on the track and is able to finish on Bondesio. Oh, and you can see right through the trees, Brontok goes through, gets third, and Bondesio is fourth. Bondesio went for the scenic route in this case, but he got to the end, giving us a draw, keeping Last Redemption still in the fighting. If Brontok can now get the momentum going on the map, as he seems to have it on all maps, I feel like we can have a really close map in this case.
Yeah, I agree. We could definitely get a closer one, such as Slippy Slides, right? Which was a very close match up until Southern Speedsters got themselves an ace, and then it was in their control ever since then. As Bondesio, really nice looping there. Achel is now behind in third place, as Achel actually flies out. And so they're really far behind Trident and Bondesio as they go onto the ice here. There's at least 4 seconds separating Bondesio and Trident from Brontok here as Bondesio slides out again. He just barely gets the checkpoint here. Let's see if Brontok will overtake. Of course he does. Trident, though, still has a 5-second advantage over Brontok here as we go on to the identity. Can Trident get this first try once again? It's looking solid. Does he have the speed to not bonk? Oh, he bonks, but he still got it through. Brontok here. Will he bonk? No, he won't. That's cleanly through. Bondesio, not cleanly through, but Achel is too far behind to really do anything about it. And so Bondesio will get the round win here for Southern Speedsters. It is now 5-3 in their favor.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that even before we get to the identity, gyroscope has a lot of elements that make this map even treacherous. Even the easy version, though it says easy, of course, it's easier. It's definitely these are definitely not easy maps to drive, and practicing them and driving them is no easy feat. So even to finish them in the time span that they are is already a really good performance. It's just that it's very hard to control your car, as you have a lot of obstacles, a lot of things you have to keep in mind as you go through the track, and especially the ice. You have to make sure as soon as you release the gas, you're gonna have a bad time. You have to keep this drift going, adjust it with your brake, and make sure you keep the gear. If you gear up or gear down, it's a death pit pretty much. But so far, Bondesio fixing his mistake from the last round. He's able to get through the ice, and let's see how the identity goes. I think Brontok did clip, so let's see, can he catch up to Trident in this round? Trident gets it pretty good, gets around the corner, so does Brontok, and so does Bondesio, so it's a 1-2-3 as they went into the identity. Achel having not the best time today, it seems. At least Gyroscope definitely hasn't been. He had a few good rounds, but it seems that at least the start is proving very difficult for him at the moment, or he's just not feeling it today. But hopefully they can get into the match a bit better. But Southern Speedsters is 7-4 away, and another track point with an ace looms in the distance.
But for the Last Redemption here, they need an ace themselves, right? They're down by 3, and the only way that they could realistically come back is with 3 straight round wins. And Acheli is not going to help Brontok in that regard here, as the ice looping looking a little bit chaotic now. Trident in the lead. Bondesio has fallen farther behind than Brontok as Brontok flies out, and Acheli will be side by side with their teammate. And so Bondesio is in second place. So a bonk heading onto the ice won't help with things, as Bondesio still in second place by quite a large margin. Trident, though, leading this race by quite the large margin as we head onto the identity. Nice little jump up here and an early landing back down will allow us to see if Trident can do the identity first try once more, and it is indeed first try for Trident, and Bondegio on the edge, but still able to get it through. That's an ace, and so Southern Speedsters have won their third map.
Yeah, so that is indeed a GG for this map. So they go up now 3-0 for the maps as well. So we could see that once we move on to the next map, that could be the final and fourth map as well. And the map, of course, that we are going to in this case was originally picked by The Last Redemption, and it is Slowdown. A pretty good crowd favorite, and among the players as well, especially since the identity doesn't have any, like, well, I wouldn't say a random map factor in this case, but it is very technical, so it's all up to your hands as well in a lot of cases, because there isn't, like, of course you can have a narrow margin where you have a bit too much speed or you don't release enough and you go flying, but this is one of the few identities that is fully incorporated into the easy version. So this will be a representation, of course, like how will they go with the identity as we are in the first round. Once again, let's see if The Last Redemption can go well. Achel went with a wider line, but is still in the game. So we have a nice POV at the moment off the front, even overtaking Trident for now. That is good to see. And we see The Last Redemption currently fighting for that 1-2. So, ladies and gentlemen, the game is definitely not over. We are still fighting for the maps. 3-0 might be the score in the maps, but definitely this map could prove to be a lot more interesting. So let's see here, currently on the point of view of Achel and Bondegio really close by, so definitely a close round so far. Let's see, Bondegio takes over. Let's see, oh, a bit of a wider line, and he touches as well. That's not really what you want to see. So we're in the identity. Bondegio goes flying. Trident hits the tree. Pronto gets it clean. Can Achel take advantage of the mistakes? He cannot catch up to Bondegio, I believe. It's a bit too slow, unless Bondegio is really fragile. But not in this case. Pronto does take first. Bondegio is second. Achel third. And Trident fourth. A good start to Last Redemption. Very promising indeed. But unfortunately, Achel had that mistake right before as they went into the fragile. So that could have been an ace for The Last Redemption.
Yeah, this is the last map here that Southern Speedsters need to win. Right, they just need to win one map out of the next four. Last Redemption here on their last chance to redeem themselves. Of course, they need to reverse sweep Southern Speedsters here, and of course, it needs to start on this map. Acheli being in third place and allowing them to win the last round is already a big help, as Brontok currently in the lead, though Trident is trailing not too far behind, trying to overtake for the lead. Bondegio is in third on the last podium position, and stopping Acheli from really being anywhere here on this podium, as Trident has overtaken Brontok. Brontok adding onto the identity, wants to take it back here as Trident tries to bring in a little bit more speed, but Brontok's the one with the bad angle and speed, as he's going to go flying for the second time. Somehow he still has the lead, but gets overtaken by Trident, and Trident will win the round by only a quarter of a second. Bondegio behind by 3.5 seconds on his teammate will still be fast enough to win the round for his team. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, definitely, and huge props to Trident. Definitely, oh, this is a bit unfortunate, he hit the ball, but Trident definitely showing a lot of prowess today. He seems to be very good on all of the maps. Prontok as well. Simply Prontok hasn't had the best of luck with the identities, but Trident definitely and the outstanding player for today. He's been showing up on all the maps so far, and he's been really doing well. And Bondegio hasn't been far as well. He's actually been able to keep up pretty much in the early parts as well. But then you do have the bit of the unfortunate fireworks on the track. Somebody has to go and clean that up. Hopefully there are some people on the move there, but for now at least we'll see, as Trident is in the round following Prontok once again. Let's see how they go. Currently at least the caps are not that massive given the circumstances, and we know how Slowdown can be quite treacherous if you go there with that in speed. A bit of a CP touch, but not too horrible. Let's see, going well here. Bondegio is following closely by, so currently everybody's doing it relatively cleanly, and Prontok seems to have a good enough lead to take the round, at least keep the Last Redemption in the draw range. and we will have a 4-4 score after this round. Brontok showing that they are not out of it as well, and this map hopefully won't be the last one for them as well. I'm sure they want to go on and play a few more maps than the 4 they've done so far. I'm sure they know themselves that they can give a lot more than they have so far. So let's see how this round goes.
Yeah, we saw a lot of sweeps 3 weeks ago, right, for the first regional. And so this time around, we want to see some tighter matches, right? We obviously at least want to see a fifth one, as Brontok and Trident. That matchup right there, right? Brontok and Trident side by side for most of the 4 maps, right? It's been really tight between those two, but Bondegio really has had the better of Achelli here. So let's see what happens this round, as we're tied at 4s at the current moment. Brontok in the lead, and Achelli currently in 3rd, and trying to stop this lead here from Brontok, and Bondegio will overtake Achelli as we head onto the identity, and there's a crash there from Achelli, so Bondegio now will overtake his own teammate actually as well. He's up into 2nd place, as Brontok currently in 3rd. Achelli trying to keep it together here. Can he do it? As Brontok wins the round, Bondegio gets 2nd, and Achelli gets 3rd. Trident getting last place will give the Last Redemption once more another lead.
Yeah, that is very good to see as well. We weren't able to catch what exactly happened to Trident there. I do believe that they probably either touched the checkpoint or had a really rough drift right before going into the identity, so we weren't able to catch that live on air. But we do see that Bondegio having a close compatriot with Barrier right there. The wall properly bouncing him to the other side of the section. So let's see, Brontok chasing Trident once again, but not having the best of lines at the moment. Let's see here, Achel, again we see a mirror copy of the last round where Brontok was 1st, Trident was 2nd, Achel being 3rd. So let's see, we'll go up to the front again with Trident and Brontok. Let's see, Brontok, Trident having a bit wider lines, maybe not feeling as comfortable on this line. As we can see, the corners are very deceptively clippy here as well. You really don't want to get close. So let's see, Brontok going in 1st. Seems to be all good. Trident as well. Very nice. Brontok keeping it nice and tidy. Trident going very inside. But it seems Achel has made a mistake, allowing Bondegio to take in front. Which means for this round we will have a draw. And Brontok driving a sub 1 minute as well. Very nice. The first 59 we see on slowdown. So Brontok definitely has the pace. But with that, it's another draw, 6-7. We seem to be going on a bit of a draw streak, separated by only 1 point between the teams. And the Last Redemption, if they get an ace, they could be looking at our first track point as well.
Yes, exactly. No aces so far too on this map, so it's been very, very tight here. Let's see if Bondegio and Trident can maybe ace this, get themselves up 9-7. But if the Last Redemption get themselves an ace, right, they'll be winning this map here. So this would be their first map win. So at this point in time, this would be the last time you'd want to get aced, right? This is the last position you really don't want to get aced. As we do have some updates from the other matches, but let's wait until the end of this round to talk about it, as that is Trident into the sign. He will reset there, and so will Bondegio, who's, I think actually it was Bondegio.
It was Bondegio, yeah.
Sign. Yeah, never mind about that. But Achelli at least is in 3rd place here, ready to take advantage, but gets so much airtime and needs to fully reset. Trident tries to catch up to Brontok, but Brontok wins the round. Achelli still slightly ahead of Bondegio here. He could be 9-7 in favor of the Last Redemption. Achelli has enough speed to win the round ahead of Bondegio. It is in fact 9-7. Southern Speedsters, the only way they win this now is with an ace. A draw, a round win, a loss, or any other matchup at all is a Last Redemption win.
Yeah, so that is something 7-9, the infamous scoreline where no matter the result, we will have a winner for this map. Now the question is, of course, it does put Southern Speedsters in a very difficult spot, and we see Trident has already made an early mistake. So now it's all up to Bondegio and hoping that Brontok makes a mistake. So far at least, definitely the map has been Brontok's proving ground here. He's shown very good prowess in this case. As soon as I say He gets a no slide. I do apologize for that product. And Trident hits the wall. And Archel goes in front. I keep spectating all of the people that are hitting the wall. I do apologize to everybody in front. Pondesio has a very comfortable lead at the moment, so it all comes down to Trident. Can he deny Archel? If Trident now gets second position, this is game over. And Trident is in front. Nobody is even close. Can Archel deny? He flies off. Prontok also. And that is the game win for Southern Speedsters as well. And that is GG 10-9 for Southern Speedsters. It was looking so good, but that is GG 4-0 for the round. I would say Trident had a good game, and Southern Speedsters definitely looked the team to beat in this case.
Yeah, Southern Speedsters did pretty well as well during the first regional. Obviously, we have ourselves the Last Redemption, who are a new team to the regionals as well. They saw the first regional and said, hey, we want to join in, right? And obviously, they did show us some flashes of brilliance. Of course, they didn't win a single map, but that's fine because the other two matches that took place were also sweeps. And so there were all 4-0s for the first round here as... three teams are in the loser bracket at the current moment, and 4 teams are still in the upper bracket. Let's see who stays there after the second round. Any more words before we go up to a break here? Looking at the bracket.
Yeah, and of course we can show you a bit of the bracket as well as it stands. Southern Speedsters 1-4-0, Molotov won against PF Racing, and Cameron is in the one against Press W. So this is currently how the bracket is looking like. But before we continue on the next round, I think it's a good time to take a quick break as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far. In 2 or 3 minutes, we will be back. So, we'll see you right there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again back from the break as well. We won't keep you waiting for too long. We're already gonna go into the game because the picks and bans are already underway. And on the server this time, we have Molotov Gaming, Hussein Ignite, and Cameroon Isinja with Huba and Droga. As we can see, the picks and bans are already underway with Agility Dash and Aeropipes being banned. In this case, Reps was picked by Blue Team. We have Gyroscope once again, Slowdown as your third. And let's see how we get. What do we have over here? Fourth map, maybe back and forth. Could be a nice touch. Parkour. We haven't seen Parkour or Flip of Faith. Could be an interesting choice. It seems that Team Isinja is giving it a bit of a thought here. What are they picking? It's a long wait here.
It is
A very long wait indeed. Oh, they go for parkour. So we will see parkour definitely. So that is for sure. As we have Slippy Slides as well. And what will be the sixth map here? What do we have? We have Flip of Faith, Freestyle, and Back and Forth still available. Let's see. A bit of time again. Huba. Again, the team Isinja having a bit of a longer time thinking about this. You know, they're like contemplating. Do we go for Flip of Faith? But then we have Freestyle. But Back and Forth is such a played map already. And Molotov is a very adversary opponent. So I'm sure they are giving it their best 5-head strats here at the moment as well.
Yeah, it's also getting under the skin, very likely, of their opponents, right? So if you're Hubba BB, of course you're thinking, okay, how do I get into the head rent free of my opponents? Flip of Faith is the choice, and then Back and Forth is the choice of the computer, which leaves Freestyle as the last map that won't be played. So Back and Forth will be map number 7, and Flip of Faith number 6. As hey, that is how we do it in the picks and bans. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these two teams here have 4 players, all from Turkey. We did speak earlier about the incident, about the earthquake that did take place in Turkey a couple of days ago. And every single player here has a modified skin, with half of it being blackened out, and with trigrams on the back, the 3 letters on the back of their cars being for cities of the affected area from the earthquake.
Yeah, you can see it also on stream as a bit of an example. Molotov Gaming skin, half of it is dark, half of it is the original skin, and one of the in the trigram itself is representing one of the cities that was most affected. So that is a bit of an in this case an awareness as well, to give to the hearts and strengths to those people as well. And that is something that we will see throughout the tournament. But we have the game going underway in a moment. Molotov with Huso and Ignite, and Cameroon Isinja with Droga and Huba Bibi. I love that name, that Huba Bibi name. It rolls off the tongue so well when you guys. I love that name as well. So let's start off. We do have maps to start off, so we didn't see this before. And if you have seen Challenger and Grand League or the regionals ever, the identity, at least on the easier map, is easy, but getting that jump there can prove to be sometimes difficult, especially when you get the slowdown. But we are underway as Uso and Ignite, so let's take a bit of a different approach here from the back. Molotov Gaming getting off to a really early lead here. Now let's see how they go, trying to of course reduce the airtime here. There's no fragile here, so now it's all up to the speed. And Molotov Gaming up to a very strong start. As soon as I say it, Huso hits the corner, kept by, hopefully he will be able to recover from that crash, and it gives now a draw opportunity for Cameroon Isinja. So let's see here. Ignite is the pillar that keeps holding on for Molotov Gaming. So let's see, can he go all the way? Currently, all of them surviving this section. Ignite having a very strong lead, almost a second in front. So let's see, let's go to Droga's perspective here. Can he catch up to Ignite? Ignite with a very commanding lead. So let's see, first jump does seem to be really good. Does he get the balance here? Very nice indeed. So Ignite gets first, Droga is second, Huba is third, and Huso coming in fourth. So we start off with a draw. It's a fair, handshakes galore. We saw what everybody's capable of now. Now the match begins.
Now the match begins indeed. Remember, though, Molotov Gaming did get themselves second place in the first regional matchup, so they're looking to get back into the grand finals again. So if CI here can stop Molotov this time around, right, that would be a little bit of an upset in my opinion, right? Because Huso and Ignite are once again favorites to make it to the grand final to face off against F10, which are Chemku and Birdie, as Ignite currently in the lead. Hababibi in second. Huso is in third. Let's see if it stays this way with Ignite currently with a commanding lead. With Hubabibi, though, getting caught up by Huso. It could turn into an ace here if Hubabibi is not careful as we head down into this reactor dirt turn. Into the looping we go, and Huso has taken the lead from Hubabibi. And it's quite a big lead now ahead of both CI players as once again Ignite leads his way onto the identity. First jump, nicely done. Second jump does not fall off, and Huso stays up as well. And it's going to be an ace for the Molotov Gaming coming in hot.
Yeah, definitely so warmed up as their team name might suggest as well. Ignite definitely, even with his name, definitely seems to be on fire. 2 rounds in a row, showing very good performance. Huso having a bit of a moment. Maybe his arms are not warmed up from the fire that the team might be up to. But at least so far, Droga and Hubabibi are trying to catch up. But at least Ignite so far proving to be a very worthy opponent and very hard adversary to get in front of, as Huso Ignite once again in front. And as soon as I say it, I do believe that Huso makes another early mistake. So maybe not as comfortable of a map for him or for reps, but it seems that Droga is definitely close by to Ignite and even close to overtaking. So this is a very good fight for the first place. Good round as well. Ignite goes for a wider line, gets a bit more speed as we get to see the first two. Huso is following then, and Hubabibi has made a really big mistake already early on. So he has fallen a bit behind. So we go on to Huso's perspective. He's trying to chase down Droga and get another ace on the board. Going in very tight, using that penalty to lower his speed so he can get down the hill a lot faster. So here we go. The identity comes once again. First once is good. Huso has to release, but can Droga take over? Oh no, he goes over the side. Very treacherous, allows Huso to take the round. Another ace for Molotov Gaming, and yeah, that side there is open. There is no wall that keeps you safe there. If you go over the edge, it's dipping time there. It's pull time for you.
No. Poolside is a different map, right? That's a different era of
Nostalgia right there.
Trackmania Grand League. As it is now 7-1 in favor of Molotov, and if I'm Droga there, I don't push that as hard as he did, right? Necessarily, because Molotov are now on track point for the first map already, which is very interesting indeed, right? Only 3 rounds in, already 7 points. Yeah, had Droga stayed in second place, it'd be 6-1, actually 6-2 rather, right? So it'd still be in favor of Molotov by 4 points, but instead now it's in their favor by 6, and they're on track point, right? So it's a little bit more rough going now for CI, as Huso once again is in third. Ignite once again leading this race once again. There is no difference round in, round out. It seems to be pretty much same old for everyone, with Droga in second and Huso in third, though trying to overtake him before the identity even starts is Huso, as can Droga keep it together here? Huso has a weirdish landing, and oh, Droga falls off again, and we've already got ourselves a GG. Map number 1 goes the way of Molotov in only 4 rounds. That's the minimum amount of rounds that we could take to have one map go one team's way, and Molotov have done it.
In a quite convincing fashion as well. 10-1 is the score, and we move on to the next map board. Of course, we remind you, Reps was Molotov's pick, so in some sense it does make sense. They go for their best map pick. Yeah, you seem very comfortable on it. Pretty good. But now we go on to, of course, the map pick of Cameroon is Sinje CI's pick of Gyroscope. Well, we already saw it once now. It seems, at least in the regionals, they are much more comfortable picking Gyroscope, which I'm all for. the fact that we don't get any gyroscope pretty much at all in Challenger or Grand League is very disappointing. So we have to get our fix of gyroscope on the easy versions and in the regionals. So let's see how this goes in this case. So Uba Bibi, let's take a close look here. That's a good start for him right at the moment. Again, Molotov Gaming off to a decent lead at the moment, but this bobsleigh, of course, is a bit rough. So far, Ignite really showing the guns that he has. Really good strength on all the maps. It seems he's again almost a second ahead. So far, at least three quarters of a second in front. Everybody getting the ice slide really well. Droga having a bit tight line, so he has to release, and he probably lost the gear there as well. Meaning that Molotov Gaming in a very good position to go from an ace from the last map to an ace here. So let's see. We have the Huba Bibi perspective. I love that name, I just can't. Huba Bibi's perspective, all of the Molotov Gaming people get it as well. So it is an ace for the boys. And Huba Bibi gets third as Droga goes for the skier strat actually. Interesting to see. You saw everybody went for the 360, but Droga went for the skier line, which is good to see. That could become interesting as we go on to the next rounds.
So we've not really talked about the different ways you can go through this identity, right? Because there are 3 different ways you can go through the gyroscope identity. First off, you could go straight, right? That is not what you want to do, but if you absolutely wanted to do it, you could. It's extremely slow, and you're down to very little speed, but you can do it. The second method is the 360, the one that we see the most often. It's a lot less risky, and you get to keep a lot of your speed, and it's pretty flowy, all things considered. And then the third one is the risky version, what we just saw at the end there of the last round. With every team, though, close here, we could see that little risky line could come in together here and win the round. Let's see if we see someone going for the ice slide here. Huso goes for the risky, so does Droga, and Huso crashes because of it. Droga wins the round though, and Huba Bibi gets third place, allowing CI to stop the run of Molotov Gaming aces. There were 4 in a row actually. 4 aces in a row for Molotov Gaming has now been cut to a stop here with a win from Droga and Huba Bibi.
We definitely saw Huso also went for the risky line but wasn't able to do it. But Droga very comfortably did it 2 rounds in a row, and it seems that it is something that he's practiced for sure, and he seems very much comfortable with it as we see the other players going for the 360. So it seems to be a battle between Droga and Huso going for the riskier approach, and Huba Bibi and Ignite going for the safe start, as we see that there was a mistake by Droga in this case, allowing, but Huso is having a really rough ice slide as well. So it is now Ignite and Huba in the front. So let's see how it goes. Here we go. So they are approaching the identity in a moment. Low jump into the ring. So let's see. Both of these players go for the 360. Who gets it better? Ignite very comfortably and keeps it in front as well. Huso, I believe, is third. Huba gets the second, and Droga is fourth. Relatively close rounds, which is good to see. It's just at the moment that these early mistakes are just giving those slight bit gaps. But so far, at least the identity has been relatively clean, apart from that previous round where Huso didn't get the risky. But, you know, we ignore that. They've been relatively good on these identities, and that is very good to see, and it gives very close rounds.
Yeah, honestly, also good here for CI as well, right? Molotov Gaming have shown some prowess, but CI, they're able to get back into this match here with the riskier lines and the nice 360s that they're able to do on the identity, especially, right? That's really going to come through and shine. But this ice slide here can also make or break your round, as Huso currently in the lead. He resides there. Nice little touches of his brakes allows him to retain the lead, but Droga does the same thing, and he gets second place away from Ignite, as Huba Bibi still in last place here. Let's see, does Ignite overtake Droga? Who's a little bit slower. Droga does the riskier line, stays alive, but does crash out. And so it's again an ace for Molotov Gaming. The only way for CI to even come close to sniffing a win on this round is if they ace twice in a row and then win in overtime. Because once you ace twice, it'll be 9-9 and it'll be overtime.
Yeah, technically 9-9 is basically an overtime, of course. If you go into the semantics, of course, it's 10-10, but 9-9 is pretty much the same case where if you want to win, you need a victory on an ace. And in this round, it seems that Huso has made a very, not that big a mistake. It looked like he was already a second behind, but it seems that he just had a really bad bobsleigh loop, and he's now in the mix once again. Droga having a bit of struggle on the previous section, but its ice seems good as Hubabibi slides out, doesn't get the gear, so that means it's a very precarious position now for Cameroon. As in that the CI is definitely needs to overtake Ignite, but Ignite in a world of his own at the moment, almost 2 seconds in front. He can cruise, do the 360, gets it pretty comfortably and gets it as well, and Huso goes past Droga as well, giving them an ace, and it's a 12-3 win for Molotov Gaming, and they go now 2-0 up on the match. I feel like, given the score, it maybe paints a bit of a one-sided affair, but Hubabibi and Droga definitely gave it all, but it's just, those early mistakes just made it so much of a gap that even with a good end, it's just not going to be good enough.
Yeah, because Ignite is just playing at a different level right now, right? He definitely plays a lot good, very good last week as well, right? He played very good last week as well, but he's playing even better this week, in my opinion, right? The Semi-A, he seems to be really, really lit a fire under him. He's definitely faster than what he was last week. And all things considered, right? If you think about it this way, oh yeah, Molotov Gaming look like they're dominant. It's because they are. They've aced 6 out of the 9 total rounds we've played so far, right? They've aced 2/3 of the total rounds. That is domination if I've ever seen it, statistically speaking. So at this point in time, CI gotta wake up, right? Because otherwise, it is just going to be more aces for the side of Molotov Gaming, and at that point, it's game over, baby. It's still 2-0, right? It's still doable for CI, but if they let this one slip, this map especially, it's over, right? There's no way I could see CI coming back here with a reverse sweep attempt, right? 4 maps in a row up against a team that's ace 2/3 of the time. That's gonna be a very tall ask as Ignite heads off into the identity here. Huso makes a mistake. He'll be fragiled. And so Droga will keep second place just ahead. And Hubabibi too far behind to take advantage of the fragile Huso as Hubabibi comes in 4th place. And Ignite and Huso will win the round.
Yeah, I don't think if people catch that as well, Huso actually hit the finish block so hard that he went full fragile and he was crawling to the finish line. So Hubabibi almost had a chance to take that spot, but he was just a bit too far to get it on the line. And so far, at least, with no pun intended, Molotov Gaming is on fire. Definitely showing that they're here to fight. They have one target, and that is to win the final. They know who their main adversaries are, and they're making a statement here as well. Of course, Cameroon and Cindy are giving their all as well, and we see it in certain rounds as well that they are giving their best as well. But so far, at least, Ignite has been on a different in a different game, in my opinion. He's just been cruising along, but we see a very close round in this case with Ignite, Huso, and Droga being almost within a tenth of 1 hour. So let's see the identity. Droga falling a bit behind, but gets a tighter line as Huso and Ignite get it really nice and smooth. They have a lot of speed, but Huso flies out. Ignite falls out. It means Hubabibi gets second, but Huso still with a quick respawn, quick reactions, gets the 3rd place and secures the victory for Molotov Gaming, giving them a 4-2 lead. It went from a very close race to a very hectic race of who is where, but in the end, with a quick respawn, Huso keeps the victory for Molotov Gaming.
These little incidents here for Molotov Gaming have stopped them from getting 2 aces here. But obviously, right, that's a good thing if you're CI, because you're still in this game, even though you're down by 2 points and by 2 tracks. Let's see if they can come back here. But they are looking down the barrel of a 7th ace here for Molotov Gaming. They are side by side. And oh, Ignite's made a mistake, actually. Ignite has fallen back behind now. He's in last and by a large margin indeed. So Huso now in the lead. Droga is in second. Hubabibi in third. Let's see if Huso can keep it together, though, because he's the one who's been making mistakes through the identity now. He needs to keep it together. First little hump here, does it perfectly fine. Second one, no airtime whatsoever. Third one, no airtime either. And so it is the perfect identity for Huso, who gets it through with a 57.5 to win the round. And as we draw here, that's the 7th point for CI through these first 3 maps, which means now they've scored more points than Molotov had aces. And that is how dominant Molotov were through the first 2 maps, right? Through the first 2 tracks. CI had only scored 4 points. Molotov Gaming had 6 aces. And at this point, right, at least CI have led now in that department. Now they want more points, right? Now they want to take back the lead from Molotov Gaming, but it's gonna need a big mistake here out of Molotov Gaming, because once again, Droga and Hubabibi are a second behind.
Yeah, it's definitely showing at the moment that the Droga and Hubabibi are seem to be a bit more shakier now that how they've seen that Molotov Gaming are putting in the base, and we saw a 57.5 as well in that last round, which is a big step up from the previous times we saw in slowdown. And it seems that at the moment Molotov Gaming are now riding on the momentum 1 and 2 comfortably at the moment, side by side as well, showing the strength that this team is at the moment going. And that is a very comfortable win, and I do believe both of them are getting a 58 low, a very strong time by the two boys, and it is now an ace for them, and they are 2 points away from getting another track point, and it puts Droga and Hubabibi in a very precarious situation. We've said it in the previous maps, and they need to start getting aces, but it's very hard to do so if Ignite and Huso are driving in the pace that they are at the moment. So you really gotta give them credit where it's due. Ignite and Huso, definitely the men to beat like they were almost in the last regional as well.
Yeah, definitely. As Droga once again falls down behind Huso. They were side by side at the start of this round, but now it's really a train here. The accordion has really been stretched out. Will it compress? As maybe someone might make a mistake up ahead, as Ignite currently leads. Huso is in second now. Molotov really looking for another ace to bring this one to map number 4, as once again, Ignite and Huso lead the way, but Huso's made a mistake. Droga's made a mistake. Hubabibi has as well. How is Huso in second place at this point? Huso really fragile, though, gets beaten by both CI players. They stay alive, and it's now 9-4 in favor of Molotov. However, CI are now in position to double ace and win the track. And for the first time for Molotov Gaming, they've not won the track after only 5 or less rounds. So, CI technically playing better.
Yeah, definitely so, and I will give commitment to Huso. He had the fragile, but he was like, no, you know what, I'm gonna go until the end, I'm not gonna respawn, it's not gonna help me. Man persevered and went until the end. Of course, it gave the draw to Isindia and Huso. I don't know if he's still fragile from the previous round, he's having a bit of a struggle at the moment, so Ignite has to hold the line. And where did Huba go? He went off my screen almost. But he's still in, at least in the contention. But as long as Ignite stays in first place, this will be a track point for Molotov Gaming. So let's see, can Ignite keep it in front? So far very comfortable. Droga goes for the line but gets fragiled really heavily. So that means Ignite keeps the first place. Has a bit of a jump, but gets a 57.7. Huba comes in second. Droga is third. It is a draw, but it is a track point for Molotov Gaming. 10-5. We went 6 rounds on slowdown, but it does give the opportunity for Molotov Gaming to secure the match 4-0 in possibly, hopefully not, the final map of the map pack. And we go to parkour. Now, this is gonna get interesting.
This is gonna get spicy indeed here, right? If you don't know the identity of this track, right? Arrow Pipes, not really a map that people like, right? Because it's not necessarily the identity, right? This map, it's all in the identity, right? It doesn't matter if you're 5 seconds behind before the identity starts, you can still win the round. And that's the kind of identity that parkour is, right? And that's what makes it so lovable here if you are a viewer, because everything that happens beforehand, throw it out the window. Because although you lead heading onto parkour into the identity, does not matter. Perfection is all that matters, and it only matters when you're in the identity. Huso currently in the lead. Ignite currently in second. Hubabibi, though, takes the lead. Looking for their first round win, actually, I do believe. As Huso currently re-overtakes Hubabibi. Droga overtakes his teammate as well, and that's a Yep wall. Finds himself out of contention. Ignite currently retakes the lead over Huso as we head onto this dirt turn and onto the identity we will go. They slow down into this jump here, and we go into it. The first jump, perfect from everyone. Second, perfect as well. No one falters, and that's a mistake out of Huso, which will allow Hubabibi to get second place. Huso will get third, though, as Droga had made too many mistakes in behind. Won't be able to finish the round. It's still a round window for Molotov Gaming, 2-1 their favor.
Yeah, of course, we have to, of course, remark that the parkour identity, of course, is shorter, but in that sense, it's definitely not that much easier. It's very easy to get a very unfortunate clip, and if you do, you won't have enough speed to make that final jump, as we see already Huso with a bit of a slowdown on the start, but it's not too big of a mistake. So he's still following Droga and Hubabibi as we go on to the ice section here. Nobody sliding out at the moment. Huso had to get the gear there, almost slid out. He was able to keep it in touch, but he has to sacrifice his line a lot more, so he's falling a bit more behind than normal. So let's see Droga and Hubabibi really eyeing at the moment Ignite. He is in front, but only by a tenth or two. Let's see, currently the outside dirt line. Everybody gets it very nicely. Hubabibi takes it a bit more safer, but let's see, going into the identity. So can Ignite keep his lead? Jumps are pretty good. Everybody gets it very nicely, and we get the draw. And a very close round. It seems everybody got the identity, so it all came down to Huso making that slight little mistake at the early parts, but the parkour itself, identity, really crisp and clean. Ignite still in first place.
Man, I'm eating my words at this point, right? This identity not been a trouble here for any of these players so far. It's been so far so good for all of them nearly, as Droga makes another mistake off the start here, allowing Huso and Ignite to really push away with their lead. But if they continue on being good on these identities here, right, it's going to come down to the rest of the map beforehand, which has not been the case in the first regional. It was in fact the complete opposite in the first regional. So this is very nice to see. The players have really put the time and effort into this identity, and it shows as we head onto it now in all three players side by side, as Huso makes a small mistake, but he'll still be in the fight for this round. As let's see, Hubabibi and Ignite. Hubabibi takes the lead from Ignite, but Ignite goes a little bit lower. He'll yet pull himself into the finish. Droga unable to finish himself, though. Ignite will be able to take it away, and we draw the round.
Yeah, that was a clue. It was a good opportunity for Droga to take it there. Ignite hit the finish block, but Droga just also had to respawn as well. So that is something that we have to keep in mind. I heard there was an alarm. Don't even worry about it. There was a very loud noise. Apologies for that. But we are going into the round still, so let's see Ignite here. But it was definitely an alarm for Ignite in that last round. Almost gave away a point to Cameroon Isinde. But at the moment at least, Hubabibi has been very comfortable on this. I've noticed his ice has been very good as well. So definitely a round as we go into it. Ignite overtaking Droga at the moment. So it is giving an ace potential for Molotov Gaming. This outside third has proven to be a bit treacherous, but so far, everybody gets it pretty nicely. Hubabibi probably didn't get the best line here, so let's go up front. Molotov Gaming with a good ace position, no clipping, no problems. And they cross the finish line in tandem, giving them an ace as well. Huso first, Ignite second, followed by Cameroon Isinde, and that is now match point for Molotov Gaming if they get a back-to-back ace.
Yeah, this one is a little bit more tough, right? For Molotov Gaming, they've really shown their teeth here, right? They are definitely very, very scary, and with the CI, they've really put themselves in a situation where they fought, right, round in, round out. But the moment Molotov Gaming got one ace, you just could not stop it, right? It's like a waterfall, and the dam that was holding it back just absolutely breaks. So at this point in time, right? Once we see an ace out of Molotov on a map, it's been practically impossible to stop them from getting another ace afterwards. So let's see if this stops this back-to-back aceage out of Molotov Gaming. Well, Huba Bibi is the only one who could realistically stop it as Droga hits the wall on the way to the identity. Ignite and Huso side by side, and there's been a mistake from Huba Bibi as well. Into the finish is Huso, and Ignite will go through the finish backwards, which is a little bit weird, but it is still a finish nonetheless, as Droga will not even finish. No point in doing so. 10-3 victory for Molotov Gaming, and that, my friends, was dominant. That is really strong out of Molotov Gaming, and they show that they want to get into the grand finals once more, and hopefully they can fight F10, and maybe, just maybe, they'll get their revenge.
Yeah, that was still a pretty good fight, I would say, for Cameron Sinja, all things considered, of course. So that is definitely a good option. I don't know if their other matches are still underway.
Yes.
I do believe there are some as well. Maybe we can catch one of the matches. We do have here, let me quickly check if it's already over, so we can maybe get into the match as well. Let's take a look here.
Yeah,
Oh, two
look at that.
cheers. So we can quickly go on to the next one. Action doesn't stop here, so let's go once again. Here
Yeah.
we go. We have BF Racing versus Press W. Well, I think it's an easy strat. If you want to win, press W. Currently, at least the South African teams at the moment have a scoreline of 2-1. Press W in the lead. And we are on gyroscope, so this seems to be a very close match indeed. But at the moment at least, Press W in the front. Bangkok Worshipper and Mish at the front with McFly and Kira Tech. As soon as I say that, Pancake of course slides out, but he has a really bad respawn. Can he actually catch this? No, he can't. So that allows Mish and McFly to be in front, and can Kira overtake? Indeed he can. So now it's up to McFly to overtake Mish in this case. So let's take a look here. Mish seems to be going for the 360, but he falls off, completely crashes, but McFly can keep. He can. McFish sort of recovers, but gets second position, allowing Kira the donkey with a bit of a rough transition there to get third, and Bangkok Worshipper having a bit of a scenic route. This is not a natural discovery here or anything. This is a Trackmania, but it is a victory for PF Racing as they take the round, and they have a position to take the track point with an ace as well.
Yes, they do. This is, by the way, the lower bracket. So whoever loses here gets eliminated between PF Racing and Press W. PF Racing was actually, yeah, both teams here are looking very strong. Both South Africans. I wanted to check what the nationalities were, and I just saw that they were both South African indeed. So Mish and Pancake Worshipper trying to ace this round and tie us back up to 7-7. However, Kira is going to stop us here. McFly is all the way at the bottom of the standings, and Kira has also made a mistake. So Pancake Worshipper and Mish currently in the lead. Actually, Pancake Worshipper has also made a mistake, and he's behind McFly again. And so this is very back and forth here as Mish onto the identity. They go. They take a really weird line there. That's not the kind of 360 you want to take, as Kira tries to catch up in vain. It's not going to happen. Pancake Worshipper falls off of the ledge, and McFly gets themselves a draw here with Mish and Pancake Worshipper first and fourth. It is a gyroscope here that really showing its teeth as well, right? The maps can also show their teeth as 8-5 in favor of PF Racing. The only way PF Racing don't win at this point is if Press W win or draw the round.
Yeah, and we have to keep in mind, I did want to make a bit of a pun that there probably isn't that much ice in South Africa, so that could be a reasoning behind why it is a bit difficult for the players to get the ice right. But so far at least, we always see that PressW has a very good start, and so far at least we see PF Racing trailing a bit behind, so it's a perfect position for PressW to take the ace that they solemnly need, as Kira the Donkey doesn't get the best ice slide, and Bangkok Worshipper with Mish currently at the front. Mish does lose it in the end, but he's able to keep it going with Kira and McFly in the back. So it all comes down to now the two at the front, PressW and Bangkok Worshipper, going into the entity hand in hand. Can they keep it going? Mish really struggling with that point, but every time he just smooths park it and gets it. And Kira and McFly are going to be third and fourth, and that is going to be an ace for PressW, and we have a tied score of 8-8, which means both teams have a possibility to get a track point with an ace or a victory. If we get a draw, well, we keep on trucking.
Yeah, this is practically overtime, right? Of course, we talked about 9-9 being practically overtime, even though it isn't. Same with 8-8, right? If any other situation other than a draw happens, right, a team wins. So 8-8, technically overtime as well. So at this point in time, right, any round win or anything that isn't a draw is going to make you win the track here, as Pancake Worshipper currently in the lead. McFlyza will overtake, and so will Mish, as currently McFlyza keeps the lead over Mish, though Mish going a little bit lower, and they'll fly out of the ice turn there. McFlyza will keep the lead. Mish and Pancake Worshipper, though, 2 and 3, with Kira the Donkey currently in 4th place. Though not too far behind, Mish will need to do this 360 very cleanly, as McFlyza actually does it a little bit weirdly. Pancake Worshipper, nice 360, can't catch up to McFlyza. Mish falls down! And so it's Kira that makes PF Racing wins. And that is going to be it for this map here. Gyroscope went 7 total rounds, and PF Racing win it 10-9 in their favor. And now we're tied at 2 in the maps. We'll see at least 2 more being played at minimum.
Could be going to our first match that could potentially be going to a decider, but we cannot, of course, call it at first. And we're going to see Flip of Faith. God, well, we're getting treated today. We're getting all of the maps. We got Gyroscope, Parkour, now we get Flip of Faith. And to speak of Flip of Faith, it is one of those maps where you would think that it's all down to the ending. Definitely not. On this map, the start can be as treacherous as the ending itself, and in some cases, the ending probably is even easier, because on the easy version, they only have to do 1 flip, but on the Flip of Faith, they still have to do this 2 flips or 2 jumps at the start, so it's gonna be very interesting to see how it goes as well. And here we go. Everybody gets the first jump. Oh, there was a bit of a clip, but we see PressW with a very good flip, jump, and they keep it relatively clean. So off to a really good start. Maybe not the slowest start for PF Racing, but PressW very strong indeed. Let's see how we go on to the next round. They are now a bit second behind as well, so it's all up to PressW to keep the lead going. Let's see here. McFly coming in closer. Pancake Worshipper. Let's see if we can get a bit more closer than that. This is a very treacherous jump, and indeed it is. So if you go too low there, it can be very tough to get. But Kira the Donkey, all of a sudden, out of 4th place, is now going for the lead. Can we get the first flip? Kira does get it. Mitch is it. And so does Pancake Pressure. Can McFly come? He's too far away, so Kira gets it. Mitch sorta gets it. Pancake does come in the rescue, and they do get the draw. McFly was just a bit too far behind. He does get the flip eventually, so he gives you another good demonstration of the identity. But it is a draw to start off Flip of Faith. This is gonna get exciting. So let's see.
Let's see what happens here, because PF Racing and PressW have been tied to the hip here with their map so far, right? It went back and forth, back and forth. Mish and Pancake Worshipper, as well as McFlyza and Kira the Donkey, have really shown that they are able to fight each other, right? This is not going to be a one-sided affair, as the Flip of Faiths. Oh, it's bad faiths here. Can Kira get the checkpoint? Yes. Kira can get the checkpoint, and so they'll keep on going here and take quite the substantial lead over everyone else. As that over 8 seconds now of a lead over Mish, 12 seconds over McFlyza, and Pancake Worshipper already practically out of the round because of that. 16 seconds behind. Kira the Donkey now is over 5 seconds ahead of anyone else. Can they keep it together here? No mistakes need to be made here, of course, as the Flip of Faith have really put into question the faith of a lot of humanity here. As here we go into the big flip, and it is beautifully done by Kira the Donkey. That's a round win. McFlyza actually overtakes Mish, and so now Mish needs to fight for this flip here. The identity doesn't go his way. Neither does it go for McFlyza. So Mish now has the lead, but McFlyza has such a good flip. Lands super early. Doesn't matter. It's still an ace because only Kira the Donkey finishes. And so, that still counts as an ace.
Yep, it is an ace. Only one person was able to finish that round, but that is good enough for PF Racing. It's like, yoink, we'll take that, put it in our pocket. That's the nicest 3 points we'll get. As McFly having a bit of struggle at the start again. And Kira the Donkey, not the smoothest landing, but can the flip be there? Not quite, as Pancake Worshipper and Mish looking to say, well, you cut the ace, well, we'll just double dip and get our own as well. Currently not having the best of time at the moment on the rest of the track with Pancake Worshipper, but they do have a commanding lead. It is over, or in this case it should be a very big lead by now. It could be already at the moment showing 12 seconds, but I do believe as we get an update on the checkpoint, remains 12, so there is a bit bigger gap now. So let's see, we go on to Mish as we go on to the first flip, and that seems to be a landing. We'll give it a 7 out of 10. Pancake Worshipper goes to Narnia, good landing, and it seems that it is an ace for Press W, but let's see, Kira the Donkey giving us a bit more scores. Good flip again, a bit on a higher end, but gets there as well. Is able to not finish, but it is a bit of a contemporary. It was already an ace confirmed, so in this case it wouldn't have mattered in the end.
Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter, right? That's a little bit of the funnies. As, yes, we are in the lower bracket at this point, right? PF Racing and Press W are fighting for survival in this regional, right? Whoever loses is out of the competition already, and they'll be out in last place. As Mish and Pancake Worshipper once again 1-2. Kira gets it, but just barely needed to turtle to make it all the way there. Mish has a massive reset to do, so Kira is now in second place. Pancake Worshipper is ahead by over 5 seconds, but Mish is behind by over 3 on Kira. And McFlyza not even making it through so far. It is still very rough for them, as they still can't get through the first flip. That is rough to see. Pancake Worshipper in a big lead though, over 3 seconds. As we head on to the identity, the big boy flip. Can he make it through? And that's beautiful. I'd say that's an 8 out of 10 right there. And Kira, can they make it through? Ooh, it's going to be a little bit of an awkward landing, but Mish is too far behind to take advantage. And so, even though it's still a round win for Press W, it is not the ace for Pancake Worshipper and Mish, as McFlyza too far behind to do anything in this round. Not that they could anyway, because it was still going to be a round win 2-1 in favor of Press W. They're now 6-5 ahead.
Yeah, and we see that McFly definitely showing that this is not the map that he or she does enjoy. It's definitely not going their way at the moment. And as soon as I say that, of course, Kira the Donkey is the one that makes the mistake. And McFly falling off as well. He not having the best of happy times with that first jump. And it shows again, Press W in a very strong lead. Both of them make the first jump, and that's a big difference already, as we see McFly having a bit of a struggle with the pole and Kira also making it, but that's a 10-second gap now between the two teams. So now it all comes down to the end without any major mistakes. This should be a surefire round. Then never mind, what did I just say? So we have Pancake Shipper. Surely he won't make a mistake on the identity. He has been relatively good and confident going for those low jumps, and that has been a pretty good jump, I'd say. Pretty good indeed. Has Kira the Donkey come any closer? Not in this case. It seemed that Mish is coming in through as well and taking the ace. Rough landing, but it doesn't matter. That's good enough for an ace, and that is a back-to-back ace for Press W, giving a very good round. McFly not hitting the finish. Ace is already secured, but they just move on to the next round. Press W only needs 1 point to go into the lead with the track point.
Yeah, and for PF Racing, this is actually a really tough situation to be in, right? If you ace, right, you find yourself down 9-8, right? And if you're down 9-8, suddenly you need to fight back. So you need to come back and not just ace once, then win the round just to be tied, right? So if you ace twice in a row here, that's the only way you win it outright. And right now, McFlyza is the only thing that's stopping this ace here from Mish and Pancake Worshipper. But they're into the wall, and Kira the Donkey is all the way back, over 5 seconds behind. That's still a large gap to fill in here, as Pancake Worshipper makes a mistake. Mish is still 2 seconds ahead of his teammate. Let's see if Mish can keep it together here. As we head closer and closer to the identity, we edge ourselves closer to our seats. Let's see if Press W here can go up 3-2 in the maps, as Mish goes up into the air. And as long as they get first or second place, they are guaranteed 10 points at minimum. But with this ace, they'll have the maximum of 12 to their name. McFlyza and Kira the Dragon right at the doorstep, but it's too little, too late. And it is the win for Press W. We'll go on to track number 6 with Press W on the precipice of staying alive in the MEA Regionals.
Yeah, that was definitely showing that Press W having a bit of a better time and enjoying their time on Flip of Fate a lot more than PF Racing did. As we move on to Reps as our 6th map, we saw a pretty good showing in this case, at least. Well, Molotov Gaming at least showed a very one-sided affair against Cameroon East India there, but there were some rounds where it came down to the wire still. But let's see how do the South Africans do on the map. So here we go for the first round. Let's jump on board with Kira for the round. So let's see. At the moment, of course, you can already clip on the first part as well. As we see in this case, I do believe McFly had a bit of a slowdown because he jumped a bit too low there and had there as Mish has a no slide as well. Kira goes for the jump, doesn't go for the airtime reduced there for more speed. Maybe feels a bit more comfortable with that setup. So let's see. Currently PF Racing chasing Pancake Worshipper for the lead. Kira giving a good fight as well, as we have a very good point of view from McFly at the moment. Closing into the next parts of the round, and I hear another engine challenge. Who is that? Mish is still in the running, trying to help Pancake Worshipper, but I do believe that McFly made a huge mistake, so that leaves Kira the Donkey in the front to deny any sort of opportunity. But I do believe he touched the CP, but he's still going. So now we go on to the identity. We have a perfect opportunity, but Kira makes the mistake. Pancake Worshipper, Mish falls up. So where's Kira the Donkey? Everybody has to release, and McFly is here. It's very hard to spectate where is who. But it seems that McFly is in front. He has a bit of a slowdown. Mish is trying to chase him, but McFly gets swerved. Mish is second. Pancake Worshipper third. And Kira the Donkey will be coming in fourth. And that ending part, we didn't even get to the identity, and it was very rough. A lot of slowdowns, a lot of clipping, and it can be very volatile once you get to the identity.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I mean, same thing with a few identities, right? You're thinking of parkour, you're thinking of arrow pipes, you're thinking of gyroscope, right? Agility dash. Those identities are really down to the wire, right? They are very tight. They are very explicitly made to be very difficult, right? And very choke pointy, if you will. And same thing for Reps here. Reps has some very tight gaps that you have to go for, and you need to try your best to absolutely risk that tiny little edge, and of course the jumps to jump as low as possible to get as much speed as you possibly can. So, of course, it is very difficult to do it perfectly. Pancake Worshipper in the lead, McFlyza currently in third, holding the rear here as Kira the Donkey trying to catch up to Pancake Worshipper. A little bit wide, will gain more speed. Out of the looping, will gain the lead. Pancake Worshipper, though, going more outside, getting no penalty grass up until this downhill slope here. And they're side by side inside of each other. Kira the Donkey trying to get the lead, will get it. Has way too much speed, though. Can they keep it together? No, they fall off, allowing Pancake Worshipper to win the round. Kira just had a little bit too much speed, and they'll eat it for it. At least they still get second place, but they don't win the round. It's 3-2 now in favor of Press W.
Yeah, that right side there proving to be a bit treacherous, and when you do decide, okay, I'm gonna go a bit tighter, then you have the platform itself that is gonna cause you to clip your wheels as well. So no matter where you go, there's treachery on this map, and Kira the Donkey makes an early mistake, so definitely not what you want to see if you're PF racing as well. But it means only that McFly has to give chase at the moment. I do believe Mish had a bit of a nose slide as well, so it's now up to McFly to deny Pancake Worshipper. And Pancake Worshipper definitely having a very comfortable time on the map at least, but we see an outside line and McFly with a lot more speed, overtaking Pancake. Very nice indeed. That outside third line proving to be, of course, the best one. So let's see. Pancake Worshipper and McFly going at the moment in hand. Mish is not far behind, so it's very good that we have him as a nice point of view. Can they deny McFly? Of course, Press W would love to get as many points as possible because they are chasing the match point, but that is a bit far away, so let's see how we go into this one. All of the teams jump, get it relatively decently, and they're able to continue, and Mish has to respond, so it is a bit of a competition between the two, but gets it on the second try, so it is a draw for the round, keeping us still very close with 4-3, currently Press W in the lead on the map.
At this point, right, any ace would practically win you the track here, right? Any ace would destabilize so much that with how tight this game has been up to this point, it's going to be very difficult for any team that gets aced here to come back. If it's Press W that aces, you might as well kiss your chances goodbye here because you'd be down 7-3. But if PF Racing here do ace, they'd be up 6-4. That would still be a very tall ask here for Press W to come back from. So let's see. Pancake Worshipper currently in the lead. Mish getting back into second place. McFlyza is in third, though, has a lot of speed, could catch up to Mish here. Let's see if it can be done. Good drift here out of Mish, keeping it together as we head onto the looping. And the looping looking better for McFlyza, who will get more speed out of the exit than Mish will, because Mish went more inside. And look at McFlyza catching up quite nicely. Look at Mish completely out of shape, completely out of the picture now. Pancake Worshipper a little bit slow, but too much height for McFlyza. And that is going to be an ace for Mish and Pancake Worshipper. They've destabilized McFlyza and Kira the Donkey so much. And it's 7-3 in their favor now. 4-point lead in favor of Press W. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. 3 points away from winning this match and eliminating PF Racing. PF Racing need 7 points to win this one and bring us to map 7.
Yeah, we've had one of the closer matches so far in the regional, but it seems that Press W are definitely breaking the momentum that perhaps PF Racing had on the previous maps and now taking control of the match. And we see yet again Pancake Worshipper in front, followed by McFly and Mish in close proximity. They do go for the inside line, in this case, so they will lose out on a bit. So McFly gets a bit closer to Pancake Worshipper. Let's see how it goes. Falls a bit behind, so we have, but McFly makes another mistake, allowing Mish to come in closer once again. And with lower speed, McFly needs to take a lot worse lines as Kira hits the checkpoint. So this is the worst case scenario for PF Racing. So the only way now this match will continue if McFly can keep it together, but he flies off the penalty grass. So it's now up to the two boys at front. Mish falls off. Pancake Worshipper does get it. Can McFly deny? He is in the mix, and they will come together with Kira the Donkey, and it will be a draw for the round, keeping us alive. Mish almost had the potential to take the ace and finish the map, but that jump there is a lot more treacherous than it first seems, and Mish first-hand experience in that.
Yeah, if you're press W, you're very happy with this draw, right? At least it's not a loss, and at least it is not an ace for PF Racing. You still have that 4-point lead here, and it's still a very dominant performance nonetheless on this 6th map, which could be the last one. Pancake Worshipper and Mish, side by side. Pancake Worshipper will get some airtime, so Mish is the only one in the lead, with McFlyza now on their behind, as Pancake Worshipper overtakes Kira the Donkey. Kira trying to catch back up, though. They are still in the mix. They'll overtake for the last podium position. Mish and McFlyza still in the battle for the top of the podium here, as we are still once more in ace formation, though, heading into the looping here. This could change everything. Mish goes very inside as McFlyza takes all the space available, and you can see they have a little bit more speed heading into this checkpoint. Into the downhill we go here. Mish, no airtime this time around, and they'll keep the lead over McFlyza. McFlyza, low jump, very beautifully done, and everyone clips. Pancake Worshipper's the only one that stays alive and gets first place, and Kira falls down. Mish, if they get at least 3rd place, they will still win the... What's going on here?
Everybody's slowly. Okay, still getting to the finish
Kira?
line. McFly?
McFlyza needs to go through. McFlyza needs to go through. They do. They stay alive. They stay alive.
Big second, he got the finish. Oh, that was the finish flag came up, so he finished in the last milliseconds there. I do believe it would have been still a draw, given how they went through the checkpoints and the order. But you never know, so that finish could have been a potential save there, as we see at the moment that McFly having a bit of trouble and Kira already falling behind. So this is now 1 point away from taking the match for Press W, and McFly draw won't help anything. He literally needs a mistake. Mish, a Pancake Worshipper providing one, allowing Kira to take that position. Now all they need to pray is that Mish makes a mistake. If Mish keeps it clean, keeps it safe, if he finishes 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, match is over. So it has to be a really big mistake to come to the end. McFly is trying to chase him, but he's very far behind, and Kira is also far behind. So let's see, can Mish bring home the victory? First jump, keeps it still going. He sort of knows that he just has to finish, and he does so. McFly is 2nd. Kira has to respawn again, which means Pancake Worshipper comes in 3rd, and that is GG. Mish keeping the cool, keeping it safe, gets the dub, and it's a 4-2 victory for Press W. Very well done. Those were some very convincing last match. A bit shaky on reps, but that is reps, of course.
Yeah, reps has been shaky for a lot of teams in general, right? Especially because you have to push so hard, right? And you risk a lot, and sometimes you just don't gain back as much as you risk, and that's just the way reps goes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for that one, and that's PF Racing out of the regionals. Sag for them, they are the first elimination out. Now we're stuck with 6 teams now, as we're going to probably watch the winner bracket final at this point in time, which would be F10 versus Molotov Gaming, if my sources are correct. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in around 5-ish minutes time to set up the last, is it going to be the last match of today? I don't think so, actually, because we will see more matches to come afterwards. So don't go anywhere. We will come back with the 3rd round of our regional in just a little bit.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Was a quick, short break as well. We are gonna be going on to the upper brackets as well. I'm sure you're all expecting that one. It will be F10 and Molotov Gaming to be in that match. Before we continue, we can have a quick overview of the bracket as well. As you can see, currently F10 taking a solid win on against Sudden Speedsters 4-0 with Molotov Gaming as well. So you have the upper bracket final in this case for F10 and Molotov. Going to be an interesting match. I'm sure you're all excited. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe we can catch up on some of the lower bracket matches as well. But for now, I think this is the matchup that everybody was expecting, waiting for. Last time they did meet, it was still a pretty more a one-sided affair, but we see at least it looks like Ignite and Russo have put in a lot more time and definitely a lot more convincing so far. So definitely something to look forward to, I think.
Definitely. I do say that I like Molotov's chances today, right? F10, definitely strong, right? Both teams completely undefeated, right? Not lost a single map heading into the upper bracket final here, but someone will start to lose some maps here, and I think both teams are going to take chunks out of each other. I don't think this is going to be a sweep. Last time around, it actually wasn't a sweep, right? The older bracket that you had was actually a little bit wrong. It was a 4-1 in the upper bracket final, so at least there was that. But this time around, I'm thinking it's going to be a 4-2, right? I don't know to who, but I'm going to guess it's going to be a much closer match, not a sweep, and I don't think it's going to be a 4-1 either. That seems a little bit too one-sided still, right? So at this point in time, I think that Molotov Gaming have really come in hot this week, this time around. After 3 extra weeks of practice, I think they are looking a lot stronger.
Yeah, and I feel like if you are Molotov Gaming, you're like, well, we got really outbeaten last time, and it's the perfect opportunity to show now that, yeah, F10 might be good, but we can be even better. So I think it's a perfect spot and a rematch from the last regional, and I really hope that, like, the dream, of course, is that we go until the 7 maps, and that would be the excitement. Of course, to give you guys an update at the moment, currently the match hasn't gone to pick and ban, so we haven't switched on to the game quite yet. So as soon as the pick and ban phase starts, we will jump into the game. So for now, you get to see our lovely faces until we get into the match. And I do feel like, especially we haven't seen any matches by F10 as well, but I'm sure they were convincing. But
Very
we'll have to
convincing.
wait and see. How much have they been practicing? Of course, I would love to know. Of course, I don't have this statistics as I do have, of course, Challenger and Grand League, but I don't, of course, keep a track of every single region. I would be curious to know what maps they did pick last time. Maybe I can actually even look. So let's see. So the last time they did meet, for example, in the upper bracket final, they played Gyroscope, Arrow Pipe, Slippy Slide, Slow Down, and Flip of Face. So it was the 4-1 game in that game. So that is somewhat of an exclamation of what we can expect, but it could be completely different now. So very
Yeah.
hard to know what we'll get this time. But Gyroscope would be an interesting one. I would love to see them because Who's on Ignite looked really convincing on that map. So definitely a good sight to behold. Let's see if F10 can do the same as well.
I want to see 2 maps. I want to see Agility Dash, my favorite map, right? And of course, it is one of the hardest identities, but still, it is so fun to watch. And of course, Arrow Pipes, right? Who doesn't want to see Arrow Pipes? Except for the players who are actually playing. Who doesn't want to see Arrow Pipes, right? So at this point in time, those are the 2 maps I hope to see. All things considered, though, let's be a little bit more serious here, though, right? Because obviously, while we have the time to talk about it, let's talk about it. These 2 teams are 2 Turkish teams, right? And if you haven't heard, there was a massive earthquake recently. It did a lot of damage. It killed a lot of people, right? And so right now, both teams here, F10 and Molotov Gaming, both have commemorative skins. At the moment, they have themselves blackened out half of their skins with a dark paint job over it, and they have the trigrams on the back of their cars, which are normally just the 3 letters that they choose, right? Like for me, it'd be QDC for QuantumDeathCat. You'd have yourself something different here because they've chosen the trigrams of the cities that have been affected by the earthquakes that did take place recently. So that is what's been going on over there. Why some teams have had half their skins cut off, right? It is the Turkish players who are commemorating and obviously showing off support for those in need that have been taken from as well the earthquakes.
Yeah, and it is something that we mentioned as well. It's good to see how many people have come together as well. Like there was a lot of I would say like camaraderie as well. Like it's all across esports, and we can see Trackmania is no different as well. And I'm sure even the people that live there as well, like it's something that I'm sure everybody's trying to put their hands in.
Yeah.
As well, and even if you cannot do much yourself, I mean, even talking about it or raising awareness is a good thing. And I feel like especially with so many helping hands across all of the internet and the world, I'm sure they will come out of it even stronger than before. And also it is something that these things do happen, but it's the adversity that holds us together, and it definitely shows that in dire needs we can all come together and work for a good cause, and hopefully the people everywhere can appreciate the efforts that are put in by thousands upon thousands of people to make sure that all the people can get the right treatment and everything well done. For now, at least, for the match itself, to give you an update, we are still waiting for the match to start. At the moment, at least, currently, at least, we can give you an update that Birdie and Simco are not on the server. A bit of a time at the moment because there was so much downtime for them. They took the time to do matchmaking match, if I remember correctly, but they are a bit stuck in that cave, so we will get them as soon as possible. So it is a bit of an XDD moment, you know. Maybe they weren't expecting the match to go so quickly, or in this case, or hoping that Press W go to the match 7. But you know, it's good. In some way, it's a good warm up. You know, maybe they got a map in matchmaking that they really needed to practice, so it could be something good. But it's a bit unfortunate. But you know, these things happen. I think they didn't expect it either, and I feel like you cannot really leave as well. I feel like that would be kind of.
I don't think you can without getting a ban, right? Without getting like hit for.
Yeah, well, you will lose points, but technically they'll just play against Huso and Ignite, and it should be fine. Then they can play matchmaking afterwards. But it is what it is. It's all right, you know. These are the little things that happen. It's a bit of charm, of course. Everybody knows Birdie. And I feel like it's a very fitting thing to happen to Birdie in some way. Of course, I don't think he doesn't mean anything bad by it, but I think he just was a bit unfortunate that the match is going a bit longer than he expected, I think.
Right, of course, and if you come from any other game, right, this happens all the time, right? This is not something that just, it happens seldomly, right? No. In other games, right? I come from another game, right? I didn't start casting from Trackmania. I started with another game. In that game, right, you could get stuck in a matchmaking game for like 10 minutes, right? And completely miss your time deadline because, let's start a game at 7:55, right? Even though the game starts at 8, right? Because ain't no way we're not going to be late, right? And then it goes into overtime for 10 minutes. Right, and you're stuck there, and you have to play the whole thing, or else you get a matchmaking ban for a whole day. Yeah, that's nice. So that does happen, right? It really does happen in multiple other games, and it's just something that it's just something that happens, man. And that's why competitive games sometimes, when you come out and you're playing an offline tournament like this, right, and you're waiting, right, and you're itching to go, right, and you want a little bit of warm up as well. Right, it's nice to play some matchmaking, but not at the cost of being late to your game. Maybe you might even forfeit this game here if you're late, because there's still 3 more minutes left, of course. But you don't show up in the next 3 minutes, you forfeit.
Well, it is the case that if we give you an update currently on the match, at least at the moment, there is 3 minutes remaining for the warm-up or the waiting period. It would be a bit of an awkward moment for F10 that imagine taking their first loss in such a manner, but I'm sure that they're already doing their best to win their match as well.
Yeah,
We don't know the full details, ladies and gentlemen.
of course not.
We just got a bit of information that they are stuck in a matchmaking game. How it is
And
going, who are they playing, we have no clue. We cannot,
no clue.
unfortunately, cast the matchmaking game.
Who would be playing matchmaking at this point anyway, right? Because Cup of the Day just ended, right?
I mean, it's perfect time then.
It's perfect timing, right? So like Cup of the Day just ended. You have two players who are playing in matchmaking at the moment, right? And
I have to
did
cut
they
you
join?
off. I think they're already on the
Yes.
server, so we can go
We're in.
into the picks and bans. I see from the chat as well that they did win, so congratulations for F10 for the premature win. It's not scripted, but here we go. So back and forth ban by Molotov Gaming. Let's see what F10 are going to ban. Let's take a look here. Maybe they need to get into the flow a bit. You know, they just came from MM as well.
matchmaking
Maybe a
games.
good scrim as well.
Yeah,
They banned
good scrim
freestyle.
indeed.
So we do have Agility Dash. Agility Dash is still open, but it's a very interesting point that back and forth was banned in this case. Not a very common ban, but we start off with Slippy Slides as it was picked by F10. So let's take a look. What will Molotov Gaming be going for? Taking a bit more time to think. It's very important to get the maps right as well. Sometimes maybe you don't want to pick the best map right away, but it would be a good momentum. Maybe you need that like a rebound map where you're like, okay, if we do go 2-0, we can definitely take this map and grow our momentum. So you can have a bit of mind games in and there, but they go for Gyroscope. So ladies and gentlemen, Gyroscope is on the menu once again, with Slowdown being third. Will we get Agility Dash? Will you make Quantum happy? Or he will have to be very sad indeed. Let's take a look in a moment.
I'll be very sad if that doesn't go through. By the way, the matchmaking game between those two, right? We were talking about how F10 weren't showing up. It's because they were playing against 100% Canadians, and those are one NCSA team in second place currently, right? That was the second best NCSA team, and they made themselves at home. Yeah, let's go. Agility Dash is fourth. We'll at least see Agility Dash today. Let's go. I'm happy about that. But F10 actually won against 100% Canadians, so they're showing off that they are not rusty whatsoever. And Molotov have something to prove, and so do F10. As Parkour gets picked as our fifth map, what will be the last two maps here? One of the three remaining maps, Flip of Faith, Arrow Pipes, and Reps, will not be represented here.
Arrow Pipes. We'll get Arrow Pipes.
Arrow Pipes.
Surely we'll get Arrow Pipes, ladies and gentlemen. Surely.
Oh, surely, right?
Surely. Come on. No, Reps, you've already seen the catastrophe on Reps and Flip of Faith. Surely you go for Arrow Pipes. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I have psychic abilities. Sixth is Arrow Pipes, Flip of Faith is 7, and no Reps this time. See, I foresaw this. I swear there's no script in Trackmania World Tour. I just happened to guess right with 33% odds. It's perfectly fine. You can get lucky sometimes. But I feel like this is a good map pull. We start off with Slippy Slides, go to Gyroscope, we'll have Slowdown, Agility Dash, Parkour, Arrow Pipes, and if we do get to the 7th map, which I do hope is gonna be Flip of Faith, but let's see how we go. F10 did get their warm-up done, at least in matchmaking, so that is something. But, so they are at least warm in their wrist, and Molotov Gaming had relatively good matches as well, and they're definitely on fire, so let's see which team can keep the fire burning. And let's take a look here. So, match will start in just a moment, and we will get a very nice screen as well, with the nice logos in a moment as well. As we first, of course, we do have to switch the map. As we said before, if my memory serves me right, it is Slippy Slides. So definitely an interesting map to start us off. Definitely the butt chest Slippy Slides going, as we have F10, Semco and Birdie going up against Molotov Gaming, Ignite and Huso, the two titans of the MEA regional. And well, we get a quick warm-up, and I hope that Slippy Side is going to be a good map. Remember, this was F10 pick, so definitely, well, at least the warm-up doesn't show much good stuff at the moment, as we see with the follow all cam, but we'll go into the point of view, and Quantum lead us into the upper bracket final.
first round of the first track of this match here between F10 and Molotov Gaming. Here we go. Once again, a BO7. 7 total maps can be played, though a minimum of 4 will likely be played here. Let's see what happens as Huso makes a big mistake off of the jump here. So Chemko and Birdie are side by side with Ignite trying to catch up to Birdie. Right now, Chemko in the lead. Ignite is in second, has overtaken Vire there, as he now goes to try and go for first place. It's not going to happen just yet. He is a large ways away. He is 2/10 behind Chemko, and that is a large distance to cover here, especially to Chemko, who is a very, very fast driver. Into the jump they go, and it's very wide from Ignite, which will allow Chemko to grow his lead and for Birdie to get into second place here. Ace position for F10, as here we go into the jump here, into the identity. It's perfect from Birdie and Chemko. The second jump, even better. It is the ace from F10, and they start off strong.
Yeah, that was a very convincing round in this case. Ignite, and we saw, of course, the line that Birdie likes to use as well. He likes to slid across the water as well. It can be a 10 faster if done relatively well. And so far, at least, clean round by Semco and Birdie overall. Ignite not getting the best slippy slide, but hopefully Huso can come back from that early mistake before. And as we see at the moment, good starts for everybody, so we have a good running. I do believe Huso slightly touched the reactor, but it wasn't enough to reset. As we see Huso overtaking his own teammate, and again a familiar sight, Semco and Birdie 1 and 2, and definitely taking their own map pick by the horns at the moment, showing very good pace. As we do see that Ignite has fallen a bit behind, so it is Huso to deny at the moment, but even he has fallen severely down the chain, almost half a second behind, with Semco and Birdie in a very comfortable lead. Let's take a look here. First of the many slides they have to do. Very good, very comfortable. Semco and Birdie still keeping themselves in the lead. Huso touching the CP, so he does get a very awkward line. So we'll go up in front with Birdie and Semco. Can they get it clean? Here we go. First slide. Seems very good, and Birdie goes for the 360. That is not what you want. The wicked line is not the way to go, and that allows for Molotov Gaming to go for the draw. And Birdie in absolute shambles for that round. He went for a 3. I do believe he just lost the control there, but it was a very interesting spot to go for the 360. I commend the effort, but that ain't it, Shift. But 4-1 still for F10.
That ain't it indeed. Chemku and Birdie doing their best here to keep it ahead. Chemku anyway, not so much Birdie. That 360 might be wicked, but it's not wicked enough to get them the win. Obviously, though, Birdie is known for doing a few wicked things here in this regional. He's done it earlier on as well on Aero Pipes last regional. He did a wicked backflip on Aero Pipes during the identity and landed it. That one was pretty sick, but this time around, not as wicked in my opinion. Chemko currently in the lead. Ignite just behind him, trying to light a fire as Birdie tries to get into second place, keeping the podium positions intact at this point in time. Huso still in that fight as Chemku gets overtaken by both Ignite and Birdie. Birdie will overtake Chemku, and Chemku, oh, he's completely out of it, and now it's bound to Birdie and Ignite, and look at this, Birdie's more inside. Birdie will win the round, and it's going to be, oh no, Chemku, even though he made a mistake, Huso also made one. It's not going to be a draw. It's going to be a round win for F10, and so it is a 6-2 lead now for the F10.
Yeah, that is something where in Huso's position you would have loved to take over Semco. We haven't seen many mistakes by Semco, and that was one where you really wanted to take advantage of. But it was a very close fight for the end there between Ignite and Birdie, but Birdie with an inside line, and we see an early mistake by Ignite. He's definitely not feeling himself on Slippy Slides as he did with the other maps before in the other matches. So currently at least it shows that F10 have come prepared in a very convincing manner on Slippy Slides in a 3-second lead at the moment. The only thing keeping them away from an ace is literally themselves as we go on to the drift cancellation on the grass. Well done. Keep it clean. No mistakes here at the moment. So we are currently following them. It's in their hands to take the ace and grow the lead to 7 points, putting them 1 point away from track point. And I do believe Birdie does clip, so he has to go a very awkward way up the hill, but he's still so far ahead that it's good enough to still keep the second position. But will it be enough to keep the ace? As Semco needs to respawn, so Birdie's going again. Ignite now takes second position. Can Birdie keep the first position? Indeed he does, but Ignite comes in. Ooh, that was a close one. Ignite had a really bad turnaround there on the boosters, and Semco almost could have sniped it, but it is a victory for F10, keeping the lead going with 6 points and only needing per minimum a victory or an ace to win the first track point.
Chemko has been leading the way here for F10. He's really been the one to carry his weight and really show off what F10 are made of. And same thing with Ignite, right? Showing off what Molotov can do. It's a big fight between these two, right? And it's really going to come down to it. And now afterwards, right? If you put Chemko and Ignite to the side, it comes down to Birdie and Huso. And at that point, Birdie right now is side by side with Chemko, as Ignite currently in third place. Holding out in third is not going to be enough, right? They need to at least ace this one to bring this within a respectable margin, because they're now down by 5. And right now, Chemko and Birdie looking to ice this one away as they head onto the water, no engine off part, as we head onto the identity. And that is, Chemko making the mistake. Ignite will take over second, and Birdie will still win it. Chemko, though, he'll be a bit unhappy with himself about that, but they still win the track. It is 1-0 in favor of F10, as Birdie puts it away, and Chemko comes in third, putting it to bed and rest. Molotov need to win the next one if they want to keep this one tight.
Yep, and definitely showing that F10 slippy slides. It is their map for sure. Semco and Birdie definitely both showing a lot of good pace on those maps. Those were some really good times given the maps as well. 107 lows are pretty good as well. They're not bad times for rounds, but of course we move on to gyroscope. We've seen plenty of different approaches on this map, and we've seen it plenty of times. So I'm very curious to know what kind of strategies. If we remember correctly, Ignite went for the 360 and Huso went for the more riskier option. They could change it around, but now we get to see how F10 do it. So it is a map pick for Gyro, in this case for Molotov Gaming. Can they now take the track point back? Currently a good start for Semco as well. Everybody currently in a good mix. Huso going a bit wider, does lose a bit of speed, but that is still only going to be a 10th loss. Going for the full booster here. Everybody making it very nicely, so it is a very close round at the moment. Let's see how the ice lines are going to be. I'm sure Birdie is going to be very good. And everybody's doing good as well. That is a very lovely sight to behold. Everybody gets an ice light very nicely. Skarzor would be proud. Probably he can do it a lot faster. But here we go. We go on to the identity as Birdie hits the ring CP. So here it goes. We go on to the identity. And Semco goes for the 360. Huso comes in. Almost sniping. But it comes down to the wire. Semco denies the victory from Molotov Gaming. What a round in the end. If it weren't for Birdie's mistake, we could have gone all 4 to the finish line, but in the end it's only a draw. But good enough for F10. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse for sure, and even that could have even been an ace had Huso gotten that identity just perfectly, right? And as well, of course, Ignite overtaking Chemko right at the end. So let's see now what they can do up against F10, because right now they have them a lot closer in than they did before. Let's see what they can do. F10 currently just slightly behind. They are in a losing position as Birdie takes the lead. Now we're in draw formation as Chemko now overtakes. He's gone more inside though, so he'll lose speed to both Huso and Ignite. Here we go onto the identity. Birdie goes for the sideways, of course, and so does Huso, but it's gonna fly out, and so it's going to be a round win for F10. Birdie, the only one capable of doing it cleanly so far with the riskiest strat on Gyroscope. Ignite gets a nice 360, and so does Chemko, but Huso will want to get that one back and get it cleanly next time.
Yeah, and these have been really good rounds. I'm very surprised and pleasantly surprised in this case how Gyroscope has been turning out. They've all come down to the identity basically, which is something of course that we love to see, and these have been good rounds so far. No major mistakes, at least so far, and so far the only thing limiting the teams from getting an ace or a victory or even a draw, some cases, as Semco did it in one round, is the identity. But we see a mistake by Ignite. I do believe he touched the wall on the inside, so this is the first actual proper mistake that has led to an early gap. So let's see, can F10 take the ace? An inside line by Birdie, but of course he will lose a bit of speed. So here goes Huso, goes for the risky line, so let's see if he can hold it. Semco goes for the 360, will it be enough? He's close, but not close enough. Huso gets close, but it's a 55.9 by Semco. A very good round. F10 go for another victory, and Ignite, I feel like his flame is not really there. He had a really good session when he was playing in the previous matches, but currently against F10 he hasn't really gotten his mojo going. He's not the Ignite that we saw from the previous matches. Of course, he has a lot more tougher adversaries this time, but I hope Ignite can still come back to the round.
Yeah, I think there's just the fire just isn't there at the moment, right? It's not lit. Let's see if it might just be Gyroscope as well, right? It could definitely just be that it is, at the end of the day, Gyroscope that is running that fire a little bit colder than it normally would run. As Birdie hits it to the wall, Chemko needs to go from last to first. That's exactly what he does. As now Ignite, he slides out of the ice again. And so Huso and Chemko will be side by side. Chemko, though, takes a big lead. But look at Huso going wide. Look at the speed he brings now. Into the identity they go. And Huso, you know he better go for this risky here. And so does Chemko, going for the 360. And it's perfect out of Chemko. Huso once again clips Ignite. Will at least draw the round out, but they're still down by 2.
Yeah, and in this case, you saw a bit off frame. Birdie went for a bit of an early dip there as Ignite was going for the 360. So a bit unfortunate for Birdie. Could have actually gotten a better score for F10, but it keeps the F10 lead going. They're still 2 points ahead, and if I was in Molotov's position, I would be wanting better results because I technically picked this map, and so it is something that you would want to get it going. You definitely don't want a repeat of last regional, so you want to give the fight to the F10 boys. So here we go. Currently they are in the lead, so let's go. We are currently in the point of view, of course, of Ignite. So let's see. Currently the Turkish showdown is underway still. What great ice slides by Semco and Birdie. Textbooked at the moment, and they leave the cold tires to Ignite and Huso. So let's see, we're gonna go in this case, let's go for Ignite and see how they do. Semco and Birdie, can they get the identity right? Ignite goes for the 360 and the F10 get it sublimely, both driving a 55.5, well actually 55.4 for Birdie, 55.6 for Semco, and that's an ace as well, and 1 point away from another track point for F10. Do we see history repeat itself, or is there a bit more to Molotov Gaming? Of course, they do need a few aces for that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to imagine here that Molotov are not going to give up, but this is their map pick, right? This is definitely where they expect to win, and they only have 4 points up to the 9 of F10, and they definitely just need to wake up here, right? They definitely need to brighter as a flame, right? And at this point in time, the only way they do that is by acing twice. The only way they win this map is with 2 aces, and these kind of comebacks are very rare to come by. So let's see if Chemko or Birdie or both start to make mistakes here, because Huso is too far behind to really do any damage, even with the risky identity. could he potentially do anything? Birdie, he also does the risk identity, and look at Huso, he tried his best. He tried to push, and he tried to push Birdie all the way to his limit. Even though Chemko made a mistake, Ignite also did, and so even though Huso did everything he could and Chemko made the mistake, Birdie did not. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And that's the track win now for F10 as we go back to an F10 pick here of Slowdown. And Slowdown will be followed by Agility Dash. And for Molotov Gaming, they were actually pretty decent on Agility Dash last week, 3 weeks ago, last regional. So let's hope that they can win this one and then tie it up once they get to Agility Dash. Tie it at 2. That way we can see arrow pipes, right? I don't care who wins at the end of the day. I just want to see arrow pipes in Agility, right? Are you in my camp there for that?
In that case, we've seen probably all of the maps apart from arrow pipes, but we see a lot of early mistakes done by Ignite and Huso, and that gives a very comfortable lead for F10, and that is not the sight you want to see if you're a Molotov Gaming fan. Of course, as we emphasize, this is an F10 pick, but those were really mistakes for Ignite and Huso, and they definitely, it could be sometimes, you know, it could be a mental block knowing that the last time you played these players for F10 that you were absolutely, well, in some cases pretty dominated, and it seems to be another case, but it's not over until Birdie crosses the finish line. Birdie hits the tree. Yep, tree moment for him. It is not the incentive for this month as Ignite goes for the attack, and he goes ahead of Semco as well. And Huso comes in third. Birdie is completely out of it. He was able to quickly respawn, but Molotov Gaming starting off with a victory. It looked very Troll Despair, but they turned it around, and Birdie gave them a bit of a hand in that. But still, you have to take your chances when they do come.
Yeah, exactly. They once they arrives, right, you cannot spit in the face of a nice little gift, right? You don't want that gift to turn into a Trojan horse, of course. So when you're Molotov Gaming, you take what you can, but with a little grain of salt. It's not an ace, right? So they're only up by 1 point, so they need to keep F10 at bay as well still, right? They can't just go off and celebrate that win. They need to continue working hard here. Ignite and Huso keep on trucking along as Chemko as well as Birdie, second and third place, trying to fight with Ignite here for this top position. Birdie will fall off here as here we go onto the identity again. Chemko against Ignite here. Last time around it became a snipe from Ignite. Let's see if Chemko can hold it together here. And it seems like it could be another snipe, but there was airtime out of Ignite. Had there not been any airtime, I think Ignite had that actually, as Birdie comes in third and ties the game at 3.
Yeah, and that was a very close round. We were able to get that final frames from Birdie and Huso as well. They came down to two hundredths of a second there between the two. I think there was a bit of a hitting the finish, you know, you had a bit lost time there as well. So definitely something that almost could have been a bit of a different result if it had gone their way. So let's see, currently again we find ourselves in a very similar position where we have Molotov Gaming, at least one of the members falling a bit behind, giving us a good camera perspective, so thank you for Molotov Gaming bringing the production, but Ignite also making a very unfortunate mistake, clipping the sign there, so it's up to Ignite to deny, but he hits the wall as well. So that is a sign for F10 to go for the ace. So let's see, can they keep the identity going here? And it is a clean the ace for F10 with Huso and Ignite following as well. And F10 take now a 3-point lead. And what started off relatively well for Molotov Gaming, it's turning again into a carbon copy of the previous maps as well. So let's see how they do this round.
Yeah, because remember how I said, right? They can't just go out and celebrate their first round win. Well, look at that, right? They definitely could not, because they could not keep F10 at bay. They lost the next round. It was tied at 3. All is fine and dandy up until that ace, right? And if you're Ignite and Huso, you got to ace back here right away. And that's what the current formation is looking like, as Chemko on top of that makes a mistake. It's very crucial now for Molotov Gaming to take advantage of this. And for Birdie, it'd be crucial for him to stop any ace attempt and get them back into this game. And here we go now. Birdie is ahead of Huso, but can he stay behind Ignite is the question, as he'll go for the pack line and he'll go into the lead. And look at this, Ignite's made a mistake, Huso's made a mistake, and look at how slow they got when they both got overtaken. Birdie takes the round win, turning this from a potential ace for Molotov into a draw. Very well done by Birdie there, and that must be heart-wrenching for Molotov, who can't tie up the game.
Yeah, and for sure, we haven't seen, like, sources tell we have never seen Pack and Birdie in the same room. All we could know could be Pack driving there instead of Birdie. But for now, at least, Birdie definitely taking inspiration from that line, and when he does it well, it is definitely proving to be fruitful for this round, as Molotov Gaming was having a very perfect round as well until Birdie came in to deny it. So let's see, can Molotov Gaming come into place, as we see a mistake by Ignite hitting the sign, I do believe, once again, losing all of that momentum. And again, Huso needs to deny, and hopefully for some mistakes by F10. But as soon as I say it, he flies off, and ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be an ace for F10. Huso goes for the big jump, but that's not what you want. Ace for F10 and a win on slowdown, giving them another track point, and we're going to agility dash, which could be the final map of this series, as F10 are looking for the match point as well on the map.
Man, it started so good there for Molotov on the first round. It looked competitive, at least after the second round, right? Oh, we're going to get a closer game. And then the ace comes through, right, out of F10. You're like, oh no, oh no. And then Molotov are in ace formation to tie the game back up at 6-6. And oh no, it's a draw. Right, Birdie comes through and gets past both, and afterwards, that second ace just set it all away, iced the game, set it in stone, and well, now a reverse sweep is what's needed out of Molotov Gaming if they want to win this one and not fall down to the loser brackets. They need to win this map first and foremost, though. They need to win 4 in a row, as Birdie has gotten out of the server. We might get a pause here, very likely, but in case that we don't, right, it'd probably still be good for Chemko to at least try to finish at this point, even though he's 1.7 behind. It's still agility dash at the end of the day, so Huso and Ignite will still be able to fight for this win, but let's see if Chemko can keep up. As right now, Huso and Ignite. No, okay. We are going to take a pause. Not sure if because we were already halfway through the map, if we were going to wait or not, but we obviously are. So, little pause now. Let's talk about the game, right? 3-0 in favor of F10. It's not been too surprising, right? They really ragdolled Molotov Gaming 3 weeks ago in the first regional as well. But when it comes down to it, right, Molotov were really just closing in, right? Molotov felt like they were closer this time around, but they just can't put it together, in my opinion, right? It's as if they're there, but they can't clutch out the victories.
Yeah, it's something that we clearly see as well, and I do believe that there is that mentality aspect as well. You're sort of seeing the same pattern happen again and again, where you have a case to be made where F10 are getting the aces and the wins, and they're 3-0 down, and you have proper flashbacks to the last regional where it just keeps happening again, and I do believe that also plays a role. You feel like, God, we put in the practice. It feels like we did all of the things, and it's still not enough. Like, it's still F10 being very much in command, very much in the lead, and we've seen glimmers of Molotov Gaming potentially taking some rounds where they could have actually taken maps, I believe, as well. But it is a case where now you go on to agility dash, and you're put in a position where you cannot allow any mistakes. From now on, if you let go of the gas, F10 will just take their match point and be like, yeah, we'll see you perhaps when you go through the lower brackets again, so we can win against you once more. So definitely something we'll have to take a look, and hopefully Birdie will be able to join us in a moment as well. So for now, we'll just have to wait and see what will happen for now. I will keep it on the match point of view. I think everybody, you can at the moment see at least Semco's lines on agility dash, so people, the other teams can take notes while we watch. So all good.
I mean, listen, right? You can't make any mistake at all if you're Molotov at this point, right? You'll take this extra practice, right? You'll definitely take this extra practice. And for anyone that was wondering why we started this match a little bit late, right? Chemko and Birdie were both late because they were playing matchmaking. They won up against the NCSA second place team, which was 100% Canadians. And you know what match they played? They played on slowdown, which is why it's not too surprising that F10 did win on slowdown. However, I was expecting it to be a little bit closer, right? I definitely did. And now that we're on to Agility Dash, it definitely needs to at least be a closer match in the first place, if not dominant for Molotov Gaming, to give anyone hope that Molotov can even think of bringing us to Aero Pipes, right? Which is going to be our 6th map, if we can even get there. So at this point in time, right, track number 4 could be the last track for Molotov Gaming in the upper bracket, right? They could fall down to the losers and find themselves in a situation where if they lose another game, they won't make it back to the grand final, right? However, they did make it to the grand final last time around 3 weeks ago when we played the first regional up against F10 as well. And so now with Birdie back into the server, we'll take a few seconds, make sure that everyone's ready to get going, and then we'll also get going as well.
Yeah, so currently at least we'll have to wait and see. Birdie is on the server in this case, so currently it seems that everything is going accordingly as well. If it was going to take a bit longer, we might have gone to the cache the camera, but it seems that Birdie is on a line, or at least on the server, and it seems that we are resuming the match. Just to give you all a bit of information that might have happened, there was, at least according to our information, Birdie, there was some issues with some earthquakes causing a bit of connectivity issues, but it seems that it, at least where most of these players are living, it shouldn't be a big trouble, but it seems it's still causing a bit of issues for the players. But Birdie is now here, so that is good to see. So we go into the round where it now matters. Birdie has fallen a bit behind, so let's see how we do. Currently giving us a good perspective of the fight up front. Semco in the lead, Huso and Ignite following up as well. So let's take a look if they can go for the SDs here as well. Birdie, yeah, tap, 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 tap on the keyboard. Very good, very good. You're doing it very justice as well. I cannot rate an SD because I cannot SD to save my life. So if anybody in chat is a connoisseur of full speed, they can give their ratings for the speed slides. But here we go. We're still pretty much neck and neck, as Huso and Birdie both having a bit of airtime, but it seems that it is bit of enough as Ignite takes the lead. Semco is second, and here we go. The identity agility dash. First jumps, good. Second jumps, not so good for Ignite, as he does clip the edge, allowing Birdie to take the place as Semco has made. Oh, he does get a quick respawn, so he does get back into the fight, and it is a draw for the round. So a few mistakes done there by Ignite and Semco, but Semco quicker on the respawn trigger, and of course it didn't help that Ignite got the mistake early on, so he had to do pretty much the entire identity again.
Yeah, he had to do the whole identity again, right? And for Chemko, it wasn't as bad because for him, he already got the checkpoint in the middle of the identity, so he was just fine and dandy there, though he still fell down to third. And for Huso, who was in third, right, heading into the identity, he gets the win, and that's very clutch out of him to keep it together. Birdie will go from 4th to 2nd place. And so it is tied at 1 now, and it's obviously 1st to 10, as it says right in the top middle there. And we are looking for a 4th map win here for F10, or 1st map win here for Molotov Gaming. Can they keep the series going or will F10 once again sweep another opponent as Chemko currently in the lead, and Huso will overtake Birdie as Birdie tries to re-overtake him, going for the second position of the podium. Ignite is just in behind everyone as Chemko pinballs his way out of the round, and he'll be down into fourth place. Though do not despair, because the identity is upcoming here, and mistakes are bound to happen as Birdie leads Huso, who leads Ignite as we head into the identity now of Agility Dash, and that's Huso who makes a big mistake there, and he'll fly off. Birdie does not make a mistake, neither does Ignite, but Chemko will get third place, and Huso, doesn't matter if he finishes or not, he will still get fourth place, and a round win goes the way of F10.
Yeah, there's a lot of tickets being sold currently for Turkish Airlines, so definitely every round we've seen that the identity does claim one extra victim, and everybody, at least so far, the only person who has sort of been consistent at it has been Birdie. Everybody else has had a bit of trouble with the identity. But let's see, currently we see that Birdie has made an early mistake, so the person who has been consistent on the identity now finds himself 5 seconds behind. And now it's up to Semco to deny. The last thing you would want as F10 is to allow an ace as well. So Semco definitely leading the pack at the moment. Huso falling a bit behind, but that is okay. That could still change as we go on and further. So let's take a point of view for Ignite. Both of them going for the speed slide here. I do believe Ignite has a bit more speed. He does have the drifts a lot better as well, but oh, Semco with a very nice line there. Both of them very good indeed, so it's a fight for the top two here at the moment. And of course, keeping F10's chances up front alive. And currently no major mistakes. As soon as I say it, of course, Semco clips the edge, but Huso is so far behind that he cannot capitalize it. So it's still Semco to looking to deny Ignite. Here we go. Can the identity be something that switches things around? Ignite taking it a bit safely. Semco coming a bit more speed, but it's not enough. Where is Huso? Huso has respawned, and Birdie once again with a bit of a checkpoint touch comes in third, giving us a draw. So in the end, all of those efforts for that ace still for Huso not going so well in the identity draw and a 4-3 scoreline.
Yeah, Molotov Gaming just can't get that identity down pat, right? When it's not Ignite getting it down, it's Huso who doesn't get it down, right? They both need to finish this identity cleanly, because if they did, this game would be tied right now, rather than still a 1-point lead in favor of F10. Speaking of leads, we have 2 eliminations. Southern Speedsters and the Last Redemption have been eliminated from our second regional here at the MEA, as CI and Press W have moved on into the lower bracket, higher up into the lower bracket, I should say. As Chemko currently leads Huso and Ignite, and Birdie has fallen behind by about 0.3 of a second on his own teammate. Let's see as we head on to the full speed. Let's see if we can do anything, any damage here for Chemko. He's had a bit of issues here just before the identity. He's pinballed himself twice in this section alone in the last few rounds. Let's see if he can keep it together here, or if he'll make another mistake as Ignite and Huso keep up with Chemko. And Chemko, no mistakes this time around as we head onto the identity. And Huso Ignite just behind. Birdie's made too much of a mistake to really catch up at this point, unless there's big mistakes out of the top 3 players here. Chemko, he still holds the lead, and he holds it together just fine. Ignite and Huso will come in just behind him, and no one makes any mistakes. It's another draw, as after this match, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who wins, we'll watch CI and Press W to see who survives in the lower bracket.
Yes, indeed, and we see that even after Molotov Gaming took your advice and said, okay, we'll do the identity clean, Semco was just a bit faster than them, and it's showing as well. Semco definitely pulling in the weight. Of course, we cannot say that Birdie isn't doing his work as well, but Semco definitely has been the highlight of the match so far. A lot of consistency, a few mistakes in and there, but I feel like Birdie and Semco very complementary to one another. And of course, with Ignite and Huso trailing behind at the moment, That is definitely the case for now. Let's go for another speed. Like Huso doesn't go for the SD here. I feel like he maybe isn't as comfortable with them as maybe the other competitors here. Simco Birdie very commandingly. Birdie going for a very awkward line, so he has to sacrifice a bit of speed, allowing Huso to now come a bit closer. There is still the gap. Ignite is not far behind, so it seems as Birdie has a bit of airtime, allows for the Molotov Gaming boys to get one more position. Now let's see, where do we go here? We have the Molotov Gaming perspective. Can Simco deny them once again? Here we go. Ignite makes a mistake. Can Huso deny Simco? No. Simco with another clean round. Birdie comes in third. So it's a victory for F10, and Ignite is not having the best time of his life on this map at the moment. This first jump is a lot harder than it seems, but that is quite wicked. Oi, almost made it to the checkpoint. Almost. That was actually quite wicked. He almost bounced into the checkpoint with that, but it's not good enough because F10 are an ace away from 4-0ing Molotov Gaming. And that is a very dreadful sight if you're Molotov Gaming at the moment.
Yeah, 2-point lead now for F10 here, and starting to slip away from the Molotov Gaming hands, as that is a mistake there, and that is very unforthcoming from Ignite. He's been so solid all regionals long. He's been the one that really pulled Molotov together here, the glue, if you will. And Huso now in a situation where he needs to fight up against Shemko 1v1. We were talking earlier about the 1v1s, and it's mostly been Huso versus Birdie and Shemko versus Ignite. Well, now it's Huso versus Shemko, and instead it's Huso versus his urge to run into the wall. And at this point in time, there is way too much of a distance between Ignite and Huso to catch up to Birdie. It's looking like an ace, and if neither of these F10 players make a mistake, oh, it's Shemko again in this section of the map. He stops himself and his team from getting the ace and putting Molotov Gaming away. If Ignite, though, can't make this cleanly through, it will be an ace. Can they keep it together here? No, he can't! He can't even jump early enough! He makes the mistake, and so the hope and dreams of Molotov Gaming of staying in the upper bracket and going straight to grand finals is thrown out the window with one reset. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the upper bracket. That's it, and it's over. F10 are up into the grand finals. Molotov Gaming will meet the winners of either Press W or CI, which is the next match that we will see after this one. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We'll be back in around 5-ish minutes to watch the last match of today, and afterwards, tomorrow, we will see the winner of CI and Press W play up against Molotov Gaming, and then Molotov Gaming or CI or Press W will face off against F10 in the grand finals. But that'll be for tomorrow. For today, though, the last match, CI versus Press W. Stick around.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back once again. A quick break here, but I feel like it's a good time to quickly go over the bracket as well. And I already see on my other monitor as well that we do have this match soon to start. So you can be a bit patient, but I think it's a good time to quickly go over the bracket so you can visualize yourself as well and see how the bracket actually looks as well. Like Quantum explained as well, F10 are currently secured for tomorrow, and so is Molotov. But of course, Molotov will go into the lower bracket final, and we have a deciding match between Cameron Isinye and Press W, which is Droga and Hubabibi versus Mish and Pancake Worshipper. So hopefully that is a good sign to come. I'm looking forward to it. It will be the first match I think we cast where there is South Africa versus Turkey, I believe. Correct me if I'm
Yes.
wrong on that case. So a bit of a MEA a fight there as well. But I can't even give you a word. But I will give you a word in game because the pick and ban has already started. So let's go into the game, and here we go. The South Africans have banned Agility Dash, so unfortunately they
No.
don't like your maps, it seems, Quantum.
No. I mean, honestly, Agility Dash is so tough, right? We saw it, right? The airplane mode out everywhere. Slippy slides also, right? Slippy slides very very tough to get it down pat every single time, right? It's not an easy identity whatsoever. It can get consistent, but it doesn't always get consistent for certain people. It depends how what your skill set is, right? And some players just obviously it's not up their skill set. What is our first pick? Gyroscope. Gyroscope's been getting picked a lot today, right? Definitely, these teams have different opinions than the top teams, such as in TMGL and TMCL, where Gyroscope doesn't get picked as often, right? Parkour gets second, though. That's normally in the further back region. So, two maps that we normally see further back down in the picks, or even outright banned, getting picked 1 and 2. This is actually pretty nice to see. No, it'd also be nice to see arrow pipes right about now, right? If we see arrow
Yeah,
pipes
the
right about
only
now,
map
that'd be
we
great.
haven't seen. And
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, this is proving to be an interesting map choice. Gyroscope parkour, air pipes, freestyle. We haven't even seen freestyle, so we're getting every single map we're not getting at the moment. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting treated today. Not only are you getting some really good matches, you're getting the litter of every single map as well. So that is good to see. For that, so we have Flip of Faith as 50. This is an insane map pack at the moment. Holy moly, what a treat at the moment, Quantum.
Yeah. And it's going to finish off with slowdown and back and forth. These are the maps that we normally start off with, right? So this is very special. And I hope that we get to see all these maps here, because once we get towards the back end here, this is going to get very interesting, right? Flip of Faith, slowdown, and back and forth as the last three maps there could very much so make the difference as we are off to the races now in this match. We will start off on Gyroscope, ladies and gentlemen, with this match. Are you ready for Gyroscope, Kriidy?
I mean, we've seen a lot of different teams play it, so it's good to see that people are definitely looking forward to it as well and playing this map. Of course, if you know anything from the big boy leagues, of course, Gyroscope is not a map that people enjoy, and there's a very good reason for it. But I feel like in regionals you can gamble a bit more, go for the odd choice in and there as well. So I feel like that is the perfect choice, as we have on screen Cameroon Isinja with Drogan Hubabibi going up against Breast W Mish and Bun Cake Worshipper. We already have the boys on the server, of course, and as well, it's gonna be interesting. I do believe, of course, I'm trying to refresh my memory, I do believe that Droga and Hubabibi actually did quite well here. And so did Mish and Pancake Worshipper, if my memory doesn't serve me wrong here. But let's see how they go on. The first map, Gyroscope, here we go. So we are in the point of view of Pancake Worshipper. Hopefully he's a worshipper of Gyroscope as well, as currently everybody getting a good start. Hubabibi falling a bit behind, but it's nothing at the start. Important part is to get through this bobsleigh So far, everybody sort of survives it. Pancake Worshipper, not for the best, but he goes for a long jump, and it still serves him quite well. Now we go on to the no-break section, into the reset, into the ice slide. So here we go. Who can do it well? No slide out so far. Pancake Worshipper really playing with that accelerator, which you really don't want to do. You want to keep that ice slide going, and at minimum maybe tap break a few times. But it seems that releasing there had really lost his speed. But now the identity, as Hubabibi and Droga looking to get an ace. Can Mish deny them? 360 by Hubabibi is much better than Mish, and he takes the ace. What a perfect start for Cameroon Isindia. Lovely to see as Pancake Worshipper comes in fourth. But that's a 3-0 for Cameroon Isindia.
Yeah, that's a good start by CI there, getting themselves a nice and early lead up against what I think are the best names in this regional, right? This team, Press W, has two of the best names that you could possibly have, right? Niche! I think that's one of the better names that we have. And of course, Pancake Worshiper. That's such a nice name to have, right? And so everyone, I think, is pretty jealous about the kind of names that this Press W team has. And Droga is out into the wall as well. So Hubabibi is the only one fighting to say, hey, I have the better name here. I have the name that at least flies off the tongue like players fly off in Agility Dash's identity. As Mish is currently in the lead with Hubabibi in second place, trying to catch up to Mish, trying to catch up to the South African here. Pancake Worshipper is still in the rear here in third place, but overtaking Mish is Hubabibi, and look at that 360. It is solid, and Mish slides out, and so does Pancake Worshipper. Droga will get the ace there as both Mish and Pancake Worshipper slide out, and that is rough. It's 6-0 now.
Yeah, that is. It looked very promising for Press W, but if anything is to go by, those rounds on gyroscope can flip and turn around like they do on the identity as well. And in this case, we saw that Press W really gave the ace to Cameroon Isinye, so we do have to look and see how the round goes. As currently bobsleigh not going so well for Hubabibi, really struggling with that one, still keeps it within the map, but Pancake Worshipper goes a bit too far, flies out on the booster, giving another round possibility for Cameroon Isinye. And let's see, can Mish deny, but Hubabibi doesn't get the proper gear, so he sorta gets it, sorta doesn't. Mish also struggling a bit on the ice, so it's a bit more closer. You go for the inside line at the moment, not better to go for that than the outside if you're going so tight. So let's see, going into the identity, Hubabibi goes for the 360. Droga is a bit stuck there, but Mish is rotating the wrong direction, really not having it, and Pancake Worshipper is coming here with a bit of a delay, but gets it across the line. So we have another ace. So I don't know, Quantum, are we going to see the first 12-0 in the regional? We haven't seen it so far, at least on stream. I don't remember it even happening in Regional 1. So is it going to be happening this time? So let's see in this round.
Let us see here. It would be a travesty if it were to happen here, as CI are looking to put this one away as fast as humanly possible. But, well, that's not the current case at the moment, as Pancake Worshipper and Mish currently 1 and 2, and it's by quite a large margin. I want to say around 4 or 5 seconds. Yeah, it's 4 seconds to Droga and 6.5 seconds to Hubabibi. But right now, both Mish and Pancake Worshipper must be 1-2 and not make any mistakes at all. Not allow Droga back into this match. And, well, look who makes a small mistake there, and look at Droga. He is coming in close, and you can hear a little shark theme starting to play here as Mish does not slide out, and neither does Pancake Worshipper. That is clutch out of both of them, and that is a solid job well done, as Droga and Hubabibi don't get the 12-0, and in fact, if anything, right, have now cost themselves a situation where Press W now have a bit of momentum on their side, right? And now, if Press W get 2 more aces, we're tied at 9 and going to overtime.
Yeah, and so far, Gyroscope, it's been a show of aces so far. We haven't had anything other than aces for this round, so let's see if that trend will continue. Huba not having the best of starts, still keeps it going in the bobsleigh line as Pancake Worshipper going through the pole, still keeping himself alive. Holy moly, I thought he was gonna crash there, but he managed to save himself through all of that. As we have a good perspective from Huba Bibi, as Mish slightly struggling with the ice as well, not getting the best one, and it allows Huba Bibi to go in the front. Very nice speed here. Let's see, Pancake Worshipper trying to deny. Droga is in a world of his own at the moment. So let's see. Currently everybody's coming. Let's take a look at Mish. Droga at the moment. Oh, and both of the players go out, which means Droga is first. Huba gets second. Pancake Worshipper does come in third, but it was 5 rounds, 5 aces, and a 12-3 for Cameroon Isinya. I mean, that was as one-sided as it could have been, but yeah, 5 aces, not something you see quite often on any map. But I guess Gyroscope is one of those maps where it can just happen in an instance without even you knowing it.
Right, 5 aces, right? Like you think about that, right? No draws, right? No round wins or losses, just pure acage, right? And for parkour, this could be the same story, right? Parkour could definitely lean towards ace after ace here, and it could go both ways as well, because that's just how it goes sometimes when you play on parkour. So let's see. Track number 2, round number 1 is underway as Pancake Worshipper looking out to try and win this one with his teammate here, Mish, but they're currently in 3rd and 4th respectively. Let's see if they can catch up to the Turks here, who have a very nice line so far and are building the lead as Droga falls off of the map, and Huba Bibi is the only one now fighting for CI, as Press W will now apply pressure here, looking for at least a round win. However, at this point in time, it is looking like a draw as Huba Bibi goes through the bobsled and gets it nicely. So does Pancake Worshipper and Mish as we head onto the identity now. The jump up, yeah, very nicely done by Huba Bibi. First jump is perfect. The second jump, ooh, a little bit late. Maybe he doesn't have the speed for this one. And he does indeed. So he'll win the round. And there goes Pancake Worshipper. However, Droga overtakes Mish, who takes the scenic route and will reset. And so it's a round win for CI. And there is a world where we do not get ace after ace. And sadly, we live in that world.
Yes, so currently we're gonna have a lot more competitive map on parkour, which is a good sight to behold. Of course, the identity in itself is not the most easiest, as we've said it before. It looks deceivingly easier than it actually is, because those jumps are calculated, but you need to get the right amount of speed for them, and if you clip even once, that is absolutely mud. Like, it's a full reset and depends on where you go. And I do see that Mish goes for an exceptionally high line there. I mean, I guess it's for safety purposes, but if anything, it just gives Droga and Huba Bibi a commanding lead. 1 and 2, Huba Bibi, and of course, as soon as I say that, Pancake Worshipper and Mish are in the front. Huba Bibi really seems very comfortable on this map. Absolutely nailing it. Every jump, everything's perfectly fine. Mish comes in second, Pancake Worshipper third, and Droga fourth. So if it wasn't for the mistake for the Droga, it could have been a pretty good round for Cameroon and India, but at least press W, keep it together, clean identity, and they cooked up a nice draw for the round, but I do believe they want a bit more than that.
They definitely would want a bit more than that, especially with how Press W have shown that they can keep it up here. I mean, they are still in the top 4, right, at the end of the day, and well, whoever loses this match is in 4th place. So keep that in mind as Huba Bibi and Droga lead the way with an ace at the current moment. However, Pancake Worshipper just behind. Mish has made quite a big mistake, actually quite a massive mistake. Big mistake. Really, really big mistake as Droga and Huba Bibi will take full advantage of that as Pancake Worshipper is not in their crosshairs either, as they now go towards the identity here, going wide to gain as much speed as possible on the jump up here as they head onto the identity. Droga and Habibi looking to keep it together here. It's perfect landing after perfect landing, and it's gonna be an ace out of CI. It's 6-2 in their favor, and Press W are looking down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit.
Yes, and again, Mish needing to go for the respawn. And if keen listeners, if you heard, there was an, in this case, a horn by... Oh, we seem to have a bit of a moment for the server. There was a bit of a delay. As we get to see, there is a bit of a moment here for the server. Hopefully it calms down a bit. It seems that it has gone away, so it was a momentary server issue. Everybody seems to be going well, so we can continue the round. We did have a few late starts, but it has calmed down a bit as Droga absolutely cannot get the ice slide, and he seems to be not driving anymore, so hopefully everything is alright there. Maybe there needs to be something taken a look at, or maybe Droga's controller disconnected, could be a possibility as well. But we see Habibi currently in the front, Pancake Worshipper and Mish following alongside, well, with a bit of a gap as well. So Habibi definitely finding himself in a very commanding position at the moment. He's been having a wondrous time on this map. No mistakes, keeping it clean, keeping it nice. Pancake Worshipper comes in second. Mish a bit far behind, but given Droga's position at the moment, he does get third. So it seems that Droga is, yes, alarm. His controller or something is simply not working, so it is alarm. So hopefully it has been solved and the alert is over. But it seems that the round is skipped and paused. So hopefully Droga can take a moment here to make sure that everything's working. Maybe there was a moment for his controller perhaps, because it looked like everything was fine, but then no input. So maybe batteries ran out of the controller, maybe Nephew unplugged his keyboard. I don't know if he plays with keyboard or controller, as we see a good demonstration from Habibi how to drive the map backwards. I wouldn't recommend it in matchmaking or the match itself, but you know, you can practice a bit of backwards. But hopefully Droga's issues have been resolved, and we can continue the match with ease, as a bit slow map for backwards, I would say. Not the intended way of playing this map, but you know, you give it a bit of a shot at it, I guess.
How would you drive ice backwards, right? How would you do a backwards ice slide, right?
I mean, you gotta hope that the map is built in a way that it allows you to do so, but usually if you get ice and backwards, it's usually meant that it's set up in a way where you can actually, maybe you need to do a few 360s, avoid a bit of boosters, you know, and then we can go on ahead, as that is a cone, Habibi. Definitely not something you don't want to hit, but it's a very nice scenic way of demonstrating the map as well. Droga seems to be in place at the moment, so it is taking a bit of time at the moment. Let's take a look here. We will go for now. We will go into the caster perspective for now. It might be taking a bit longer than expected, so never mind. As soon as I switch, of course, the round starts again. So that's how it works. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the game. You only saw a glimpse of our handsome faces. That is all you're gonna get for this match. So here we go, we continue as we see an early mistake by Pancake Worshipper. Droga now seeming that everything is working fine. Let's take a look here. Habibi in front, followed by Mish and Droga going in for the ice slide this time. Everything seems to be alright, but not so much for Mish, as he loses the gear and slides out, and this looks like, if anything, an ace for Camerones India. Droga with a clip on the loop, but it's an ace that they need for the drag point, and it's a very good position to be in. Pancake Worshipper is 5 seconds behind. Mish is also trailing behind, so it all comes down to Habibi and Droga. Habibi hasn't made a single mistake so far on the identity, and I completely jinxed it. So Droga is now gonna get first place, and Habibi hopefully is gonna get an ace, but Mish looking to deny. Pancake Worshipper's also in the mix, but it seems at least that Pancake Worshipper has respawned. Mish gets the second place, followed by Hubabibi and Pancake Worshipper on fourth. A bit of an hectic round after the pause has resumed the game, but 1 point away for Cameroon Sinje to take their second track point.
Yeah, they're really looking forward to that, right? They're definitely on the verge of taking this one down with a 9-4 lead now. It's looking more and more in their favor. It was looking in their favor ever since the first ace, but man, it was really, really rough for them here. And press W, well, they'll need to press it harder, right? If they want to win this one out. If you want to press W, don't forget, right? If you press W harder, you'll go faster, right? That is a proven fact here for any game, right? Any game you play. Just press W harder and you will go faster. As Droga leads the way onto the identity. Pancake Worshipper followed by Mish. Hubabibi finding himself a little too far behind to really do any damage as Pancake Worshipper keeps up with Droga, but it's too little, too late as Droga, even though he'll crash, he'll still win the round by 20 milliseconds. Hubabibi even gets third place. Mish will get fourth as CI will win the round and the track and go up 2-0.
Another, I mean, it was pretty much a show for Hubabibi. Not maybe the last two rounds, but overall it was a case in point, man. Hubabibi just absolutely crushed it. But ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly what is on screen. It is arrow pipes. Don't be deceived. You can't. It's not a mirage. It's not a fake map. It's actually arrow pipes played in the regional. And as much as we've seen, of course, the identity hasn't changed. So previously, when this map had its first iteration, it was only one pipe. But I feel like everybody decided, you know what, that's a bit too easy. They can do the normal one, right? And so they added the entire identity back in so all of these players can have the best experience possible on arrow pipes. There is one pipe that is removed, but not the ending, as we see a very commanding commanding lead for Droga. I was about to say Cameroon is Sinje, but Mish having a bit of trouble as well, so it's Pancake Worshipper and Droga up in front at the moment. So let's see. Droga definitely seems to be very comfortable on the map. Pancake Worshipper is not far behind. God forbid that is a name and a half to say if you want to say it fast. So Droga and Pancake Worshipper 1 and 2. Where are the other drivers? Mish is currently 3 seconds behind. Hubabibi finding himself 8 seconds behind. So it seems that if anything, it all comes down to the identity. Even with these big gaps, that identity is probably the most difficult one to get right cleanly. So let's take a look at Droga. First attempt, clean. Second one, clean. And there it is. So Pancake Worshipper does come in second. Mish needs a bit of turtling skills, but doesn't go for it. Hubabibi also needs to respawn. Mish goes a bit wide, so that means Hubabibi goes for the jump. And Mish is absolutely somewhere under the map, but not in the finish line. So it's a win for Cameroon Sinje. Welcome to Arrow Pipes, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to say bad against the map, but it is a very difficult identity to get right. And as the players show, you can practice this map, but this is a map that proves to be a very difficult one, even for the pros as they play the normal version. And for these players, the easy version is no easy case to be made.
Yeah, this map is very difficult indeed. I do agree that the map has a lot of hazards that need to be very much so looked at and taken into account, as we already see everyone except for Hubabibi, who's made a mistake, and they're quite big mistakes. We're not even close to the identity just yet. And Hubabibi has a 5-second lead over his teammate and a 7.5-second lead over any press W player. This is looking like an ace. However, it could all go away within just a few seconds as we head on to the identity. Hubabibi's made a mistake. Let's see as his lead dwindles down a little bit. Does he need to reset? Not on the first one. Does he get the second one clean? No, he falls off. And so Droga needs to keep it together to win the round for his team, and he does. But Pancake Worshipper, oh, Habibi falls off, and look at Pancake Worshipper just coming through, sniping him out. And so it's still a round win for CI, but it's not the ace that they were looking for. 4-2 in their favor, but it could have been 5-1.
I mean, it's Drogon did a pretty good together, but yeah, Habibi with not the round that he probably foresaw in that case, and not what he expected going into Aero Pipes. So it is something that Aero Pipes has been proving a very difficult map. We've seen mistakes on every single aspect of the map, but it is understandable, of course. It is not an easy map. And this ice slide is also something, it can be deceivingly easy. It's only one slide, just get it, but it's so easy to lose your gear if you're not confident in going into the ice, and you can slide out so easy. And we can see there's a massive gap already, almost 2 seconds, currently at 1.5 seconds for Mish, but with that one, that's only gonna grow, and it is 2 seconds for the Cameroon Isinja boys at the moment at front, looking very comfortable, looking to take the map at least to a 7-2 score. But let's see, currently comfortable dirt, nothing to worry about here. But then you have the moment, get your jumps ready. Can we get those pipes clean? Habibi, Droga, good. Droga gets a mistake, so it's Mish getting it. Pancake almost clips it, but where's Habibi? Makes a mistake, Mish goes in front, and Pancake Worshipper comes in third. So all of that, and Droga doesn't even finish, but it is a victory for Press W, and it is gonna get a bit closer. It is going to be 5. Yes, Droga, we know it is alarm. You cannot lose this map, of course. You cannot give any matches away to Press W. Droga sounding the alarm for Habibi. We need to win now. We cannot let them get any points. So here we go. Next round is upon us.
Next round is upon us, and Press W are going to look to at least tie this one, if not take the lead. However, Droga and Habibi 1 and 2 right now, with Mish and Pancake Worshipper in behind by about 0.5 of a second. Make that 3/4 of a second now, as the ice slide not good for Pancake Worshipper once again. It's been shaky for him, and it continues to be, as Habibi and Droga are driving 1-2 still, and Mish is in behind by nearly a second here. You can take your time, you can save it if you're Habibi and Droga here. CI are looking to ace this one for the first time on Aero Pipes, but it comes down to the identity. The last few turns here on the dirt before we get ourselves into the engine off blocks and into the identity. Habibi and Droga, will they keep it clean? They both land it, and they both continue. Mish makes a mistake, and Habibi and Droga make it through clean, and it's an ace. It's now 8-4, a 4-point lead, and that's crucial, because if it was only a 3-point lead, Press W could just ace back, and we'd be tied. Or if there was a 2-point lead, then Press W could make an ace and find themselves in the lead. Rather, instead, if they ace, they're still down by 1. And so, Kriidy, we find ourselves in a situation where CI could go up 3-0.
Yeah, and looking at the picks and everything, I think there's a reason why Cameroon Isinja picked this map, as Press W are definitely not enjoying their experience. I think they're gonna rate it 0 out of 5 stars reviews on the map. Will not visit again, but Habibi and Droga, I think it's a 5 out of 5 so far. You know, pretty comfortable. A few ups and downs there, but I feel like they are enjoying their stay on Cameroon on this map as well. As soon as I say that, Habibi does clip, so it does fall a bit behind, giving Mish the second position. Pancake Worshipper is now 13 seconds behind, and Mish goes through inside on the dirt, losing all of that momentum. You are in gear hell now, Mish, so enjoy that experience. As Habibi and Droga in front. Let's see, Droga's perspective. Does he get it again? Gets a slowdown, but it's fine. You can still make it. And both members not making it. Can Habibi? Habibi slides across the finish line, so there is that. but can Mish deny the ace? And he cannot, as Droga cannot make the finish line. Can anyone finish? No, they can't. So if nobody finishes, this is an ace. And that is game over. That is the round, well, track point for Cameroon in India in a round where everybody would try to finish, but only one man prevailed, giving them the track point as well. 3-0 now. And we go on to the fourth map, Freestyle. Again, a map we haven't seen, but we have a good pleasure to see it being played on the stream.
I'm actually surprised that we've not seen it at all today, because this is quite a nice map overall, right? Freestyle is a map that a lot of players do love to play, and so let's see what Press W can do, because they need to stave off elimination if they want to continue playing on day number 2. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at 1 p.m. CEST is the continuation of this regional MEA matchup here. However, it will either be CI or Press W, which will face off against Molotov Gaming in the lower bracket final to start us off. So whoever wins this one will make it to day number 2 automatically, as Hubabibi and Droga lead 1-2 at the current moment, looking for an ace as they go down here into the upper jump into the ring checkpoint. Very nicely done out of everyone except for Droga, who he did slow down quite a bit, fell down to third, but regains second place as we head down now towards the identity. This nice drift will lead us right into it, and the first ones that go through as they jump up, everyone makes a mistake except for Pancake Worshipper, who falls down, and Mish as they ace the round somehow, some way, even though they both clip Hubabibi and Mish. Hubabibi and Droga, my bad. They both make mistakes, and they don't land it whatsoever. As Mish and Pancake Worshipper, they also don't make it through cleanly, but at least they make it onto the platform and win the round. 3 points to their name.
Yeah, and that was a... If keen-eyed viewers saw that Hubabibi got the slowdown, and it was at that point he knew he was screwed. Because getting that lower gear there, or the gear down, slowdown in this case, is a death threat in the freestyle identity. If you go so slow, you really have to jump high and time your jump perfectly. As we see, there's a big mistake by Mish. So it's again Pancake Worshipper to deny Cameroon Isindye. Ooh, a bit of a... Oh, internet connection for Pancake Worshipper, having a bit way too dank of an experience for him. So we go on to Droga at the moment. 1-2 still. Pancake Worshipper, you okay? Yeah, you seem good now. So we go back to his POV. And let's see how we're doing. Okay, Droga has to respawn. So he's now with Mish, allowing Hubabibi to be in front. So let's see. Can he do it this time? But he slows down to a crawl. And he's completely dead. There's no can respawn that. Pancake Worshipper hits the wall. But he's absolutely in the mud apart from Droga. Gets it, very nice indeed. But can anybody else finish? Pancake Worshipper gets the second place. Can Mish finish? Indeed he can. Third place, and Hubabibi, he's not having a good time here. That's now 2 rounds in a row where he's gotten a very slow approach. And of course we do have to keep in mind that these maps, of course, and the players who are playing it, these maps are not easy. Even if you put in practice, it's very hard to get them right. They are coined easy versions, but it's still very hard to ride them in general.
Yeah, I agree. And for CI here, right, that's going to be a bit of a detriment to them, right? They need both players to be able to finish the map. They've been unable to do so both rounds, right? So that is something to keep an eye out on. If you are CI, you need to know that you can double respawn in the end there and at least get back some of the speed and get yourself into the finish at the very least, right? So that is what they need to do, as right now, Mish trying to catch up to Hubabibi. Droga in third, fighting off Pancake Worshipper, who gets a little bit slow out of the exit there. As Mish gets a high jump, Droga might have more speed than Mish here, coming down into the drift. But Hubabibi going a little bit slower than... Oh, wow, everyone is being a little bit faster than the one behind as Mish overtakes Huba Bibi and Droga looking to tie the round. And indeed, it is going to be a draw as Pancake Worshipper is a little bit too far back to do anything else about it. Good job by Mish in winning the round and drawing it. Good job by Droga keeping it together and making sure that he went through, even though he went backwards.
Yeah, well, you take any finish you can, but we clearly see that Cameroon Isingye skipped out on freestyle practice day as Pancake Worshipper going for the teleportation tactics. Don't know if it will work out, but we'll see how this round goes. But again, a familiar sight. Cameroon Isingye very strong on the map, but when it comes to the identity, they are definitely struggling. But let's see, will it be the case as Mish goes a bit too wide of an angle and loses all of his momentum, and Pancake Worshipper giving us the point of view yet again. Let's see how they do. Good jump so far, and Cameroon Isingye in a comfortable lead. So let's go up to the top to the boys. Can they? And Huba Bibi hits the lamp on the inside, losing all of the momentum he had. So can Pancake Worshipper perhaps get Droga? So here we go. Oh, that's not a really good setup for the identity, but can he still get it? Oh, he still can. Droga still also gets it in first, Pancake second. Mish gets it in some more matter of way, but he crosses the finish line. It is another brawl, and Huba Bibi is still trying to just not getting it down. Of course, we do have to mention that this was Press W's map pick, so it seems that Huba Bibi is not very familiar, or at least not the most, not the enjoyer of a freestyle map, at least so far. But perhaps this round it will be a bit different.
Are you the enjoyer of a freestyle? I am not gonna start freestyle. No. That's not something I can do. Not during a cast. Not this late anyway. As Huba Bibi currently in the lead with Droga just behind. You also see Pancake Worshipper and Mish here. Press W doing what they can to get back in this lead here. To get back into this match overall. They're down by 3 maps, right? They're looking to not get swept here. And let's see, as they leap up high to jump back down low, Mish will grab the lead away from Droga as Pancake Worshipper will lose out to second place to Droga, and he'll grab the 3rd position, the last podium position, as Huba Bibi's made a big mistake here. And Droga, let's see if it can keep up with Mish, or will Mish win out this identity as Pancake Worshipper makes a big mistake there as Mish and Droga do the 360 jump, but it's only Droga who gets it perfectly on the first try as there goes Mish in second place. Huba Bibi finally gets the identity down, and I mean, Pancake Worshipper doesn't even need to finish, but he will do so anyway. It is the round win for CI, and they're within a 2-point difference now of Press W. They could come back and tie this one 9-9 if they keep on winning like this.
Yeah, and Press W, their first match point opportunity of this matchup so far. So if they get an ace, they have their first map win in the bag. But of course, in order to get that, you do have to cross the finish line, at least for now, with an ace. And so far, we see a similar pattern. Cameroon Isingye starting off to a good start. They do seem to be comfortable on the map. It's just that either they get a bit nervous when they get to the identity, or is it something that they still haven't found the consistency with on the map. But let's see, the rest of the map is looking very good for the boys from Turkey. So let's see, can they rectify their mistakes and get a clean freestyle identity? Mish opting for the high jump in this case, so it is a various option. Some people go in early, some late. It's sort of a preference how you want to approach that jump with the gear and the drift, and everybody gets it apart from Huba Bibi. Can Pancake Worshipper coming through? Indeed he can. So Droga keeping the draws alive, but Huba Bibi just not getting it. It's always this close, but you know, it's only close if you cross that finish line, but it's just not getting there with good efficiency. And again, Press W keeping that 2-point lead, and even if Cameroon Isingye ace, it's not a win for them. And now Press W need an ace or a victory to secure the track point.
Yeah, and if you're CI, right, you're kicking yourself a little bit if you're Huba Bibi. right? Because you could have given your team the lead here, right? You could be up 8-7 right now, but instead that one mistake, right? That one miss in the identity costs it all. It is the reason why you're still down by 2 with 2 points away for Press W to winning their first map pick and the first map in general. So let's see if Press W can put this one away, even though they're down right now in the ace formation for CI. We've seen too many mistakes to really count Press W out, and there you go. That is why Hubba BB yet trees himself, and he's not even going to get the checkpoint. Oh, that's disastrous. As Droga now, he's the only thing that can stop Press W. He'll land that 360 and he'll get the draw. At least there's that, right? At least there's that silver lining. But at this point in time, if you're Hubba BB and Droga, you must have a perfect round 8. Round 8 is the last round that will be played of this, I think, no matter what, because CI need to ace to win, and any other outcome, Press W wins. So CI, if they ace this, they win the match as a whole. They sweep Press W. If Press W does anything else, if they draw, win, or ace, we are going to map number 5.
Yeah, and so far, in theory, it's looking pretty good for an ace for Sinja. But the identity, it's Huba Bibi is gonna have nightmares after this. I think he's gonna forever in his life. Either he's gonna adverse and practice freestyle forever, or it's gonna be something that haunts his dreams forever. But again, Camarone Sinja in a good position to take the round. Another commanding lead, and in this case, Mish, who's relatively being consistent on the entity, finds himself very far behind. So now, Uavivi and Droga, a perfect opportunity. We've seen it too many times. Can Uavivi do it this time? Here we go. And Droga falls off Eclipse. Does Uavivi make it? He does, but that's really good. But where's Mish? Pancake has to respawn. Mish doesn't get the identity, and Droga gets it in the and the match point for Sinja, which means they secure their place in the loser bracket final, and it's going to be an all Turkish affair for tomorrow. What a great game, and what a way to end it as well. You're so close for Press W. Well done to them for giving a good fight. But in this case, it was not enough. That is a very unfortunate fight, but still a fair shout to Press W. Very good fight in the end. Gotta commend them.
Fight. You have to commend every team that played today, right? Whether they had any success or not, right? As long as you had fun in the lower bracket, right? That's really what matters the most when you're playing and you're not really like as competitive as some of the other teams, right? You saw the other teams, and that's why we had 2 new entrants this time around, right? 2 new entrants who saw the first first regional and said, hey, that'd be fun to join, right? And of course, if you are a player from the MEA region, maybe you can grab a buddy of yours that's also in the MEA region, get yourself a team going, and play in the 3rd regional, which will take place in another 3 weeks' time. And for the other teams here, there are 3 teams remaining, and that is CI, Molotov, and F10. CI and Molotov will face each other tomorrow in the early morning for me, but in the early afternoon for every European here that's actually watching. That will take place at 1 in the afternoon CEST time. So keep your clocks up for that one. CI versus Molotov. The winner of that will go off and face against F10, and then in the grand finals, and then whoever wins that wins the grand finals and the 2nd regional. Last time around it was F10. They won it in a sweep. Let's see if CI or Molotov can put them off of their perch. However, the fact that F10 did get an ace, and not just many aces, but a full sweep on Molotov, gives me a little bit less faith than I did last time around when it was a 4-1 affair in the upper bracket final. Anyway, all that to say, F10 are in the grand finals awaiting the winner of the lower bracket final. I can't speak anymore, man.
Yeah, we will be seeing Molotov going up against Cameroon. Isinja, last time they did meet in the upper bracket, it was a 4-0 affair for Molotov Gaming. So we'll have to see tomorrow if that changes, or will Molotov take a comfortable win yet again and move to face their biggest nemesis once again, F10, in the grand final. But for this one, of course, it will be this will be, of course, the conclusion of the Trackmania World Tour MEA Regional Day 1, of course. So hopefully we'll be here for tomorrow as well. I'm sure you're gonna be excited. Plenty of people to support, plenty of favorites still in the game, and I'm sure, if anything, you will be looking forward to it as well. So for us, from me, Kriidy, and QuantumDeathCat, we bid you all farewell. I do not have an end screen ready, so I'll send you on the "We'll Be Right Back" screen so you can enjoy a bit of music before we end the stream. So until next time, goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.